Fuck!
Like I said, Obama. Obama looked young.
I mean, shit.
He had just been sworn in 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That just really messed with my head. I was barely turned 30 when we started this shit.
Now you're 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
The show has spanned 2 decades.
No.
You're 1,000 years old. Older than the sun itself.
Man.
What password did you put on this thing?
I think you know. And we're live, so I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Does it...
I think you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was missing a character at the end.
You know what you're missing.
This
Can
movie
I
was
change
missing a
that?
few characters at the end.
Can I change that to
It shouldn't
Enter.
ask you. It's supposed to auto
when it
log
goes
on.
to sleep, it makes me
Just
wake
shut
it
it
up.
down. If you shut it down, it'll just auto log on.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I don't move the...
Oh.
If I don't
Well, you
input
can
and the
turn it to
screensaver comes
nothing
up.
if you want to.
I need to find that. I'm not familiar with Ubuntu.
Who is?
I'm not familiar with Ubuntu.
Sudo do something better thing.
Where's our tweet?
Sudo 51.
When inactive for 1 hour.
Working on it. There will be a tweet here in 2 seconds. Got to get link. And then Zelda.
What?
The fuck are you doing?
You said 2 seconds.
Oh.
Counted it off. It wasn't there.
2 and 2.
There. Okay, it's on now.
Is it on now?
Yeah, it's on now.
Is it there?
Are we live?
Are we live? Yeah, we were live 3, 4, 5 minutes ago.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I am so serious.
That's
Oh my goodness.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I never thought.
I do declare, oh God.
Tweets.
Well, I never. Oh man,
What?
some guy that's following 2 million people unfollowed me
Why do you care?
because I wanted to be one of the 2 million.
Why are you tracking your unfollows?
Because I'm always curious.
Strange.
Next time.
It also helped me realize that somehow I had unfollowed Ian, and I have no clue how that happened. I don't remember doing it, any of that. It's just
Twitter just does that sometimes.
yeah, I was like,
You're probably trying to turn off his retweets or something.
no, I don't mind Ian's retweets, actually.
You're a retweet turn-offer.
I do.
A serial retweet.
Well,
Is there a tweet?
I will admit, some people follow me, I follow
I
them
don't
back.
think you hit the button.
I did.
and then within an hour, I'm like, yep, you're getting your retweet shut off.
Where?
Because some people just
down one.
it's like,
Oh, I didn't know we had
that
a
looks
pinned
like a
tweet.
reasonably
When
good
we had
tweet.
a pinned
And then they'll retweet literally everything in their timeline.
I don't remember a
eventually
pinned
you're
tweet
All right,
ever.
I did that today.
Let's not
Yeah.
do that.
I
Okay,
pinned a
that's
tweet.
what I was looking for the top
I'm
thing.
sorry, I pinned a tweet.
Hey. Oh, you got him fired up.
the fuck is happening?
You got him fired up, Chuck. Oh, you done it now. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Hot gravy.
Oh my goodness.
No, that,
Hot gravy. What have we done?
no, that would be Don the Dragon Wilson in the Laura Croft outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Roddy Piper's a pirate. Yar.
I mean,
Rowdy pirate.
had the Tomb Raider movie come out? I mean, that literally looks like
Yeah.
the Tomb Raider poster.
It had not. This was 96.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tomb Raider was 99, 2000.
Yeah, I mean,
somewhere in
the
there.
games started coming out around.
Oh, yeah.
Then, actually,
Yeah,
I think
can't-
exactly at
I cannot figure out that Photoshop at all.
Yeah,
Because it is
never
like
happens.
the Tomb Raider pose.
It is, yeah. That's what doesn't make any sense because I'm pretty sure the game had come out, but not in the movies. But that looks
Yeah.
exactly like they stole the.
Well,
from-
like the legit poster is the shot that it should be, which is the two of them on the stairs with guns to each other's chin. But for some reason,
yeah, no, I picked that stupid poster because
No, I
it's
know.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, that's a DVD. So But I'm saying that's a DVD copy. That's probably they did steal the artwork from Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it was original.
Yeah.
That probably came out years later. Oh, let's slap
Let's
this
re-release
bullshit
it.
on DVD and steal some Tomb Raider clip art.
I'm going to hook this up instead.
Yeah.
Which isn't
Stereo
clip art.
mic it.
It's actually
Yeah.
licensed art.
You have a stand-in clip. I asked you
Lark.
that already.
Yeah, I just have to find it. It's probably in the attic where all the fun things from my life have gone.
What's happening over there?
Some wrestling.
Oh.
He wanted to make sure that we were, recording and live before he started wrestling everything.
Oh, you just want to make sure I actually got you the right games on the right systems?
I knew.
Nah.
Got to make sure to capture all that sweet Foley for the movie that we do later.
Foley! I wanted to be the chief of Beverly Hills Cop. I'm sorry. For half a second.
Well, as soon as Mackey's... I quit. 8 years is enough.
8 is enough. I remember that show. I do wonder how you put up with me for 8 fucking years.
You guys even lived together for a little bit.
Well,
Huh?
the secret to that was I think we saw each other for like 2 hours maybe over the course of a week because either I was at Jen's for 3 of the days or we were all we were in separate rooms playing Grand Theft Auto against each other.
Yeah. You also weren't trying to antagonize me for comedy's sake. You were, actually trying to be a reasonable human being.
Because I knew that you could kill me in my sleep.
And would.
And that,
Just remember, anyone can kill you in your sleep, including spiders.
I knew where all the guns were, and you didn't.
Yeah, and it was his house.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's been a good 8 years. Bye.
All right, later, man.
I have to.
Don't be a stranger.
I have to wait until Chuck leaves.
Oh, well, that's a good reason to stay on the podcast.
I was gonna say I'll check your stream every once in a while when you're
Thanks,
when
buddy.
you're playing some video games.
I'm still going to do
is
no
that what you-
quarters.
Yeah. I did not mean your.
I thought that was
stream.
like a medical analysis.
We may have been roommates, but no.
Sometimes you just have to check another dude's stream.
Hey,
It's like the buddy system.
Yeah, totally is.
you
Hey,
might have
taste
been.
this for me.
You might have been stung by
Do I
a
have
jellyfish.
diabetes?
You never know.
That's true. In the mouth.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well,
Might have been stung in the mouth.
dude, it's totally sterile.
You just put a jellyfish in your mouth. You're like,
Yeah,
jelly.
I thought it was jelly.
let's chase Chewy.
Oh, no, it's a fish.
Yeah. Okay, now piss in my mouth.
Now piss in my mouth and dribble in my mouth.
R. Kelly is going to be at the Veterans Memorial Arena soon.
Oh.
Man,
Man,
in
in
veterans
case you
are
haven't
gonna
had your
appreciate
full
that.
Yeah.
fill of piss.
Break out your tarps.
Yeah, it's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah, this is all going on the bonus thing. Man.
Yeah.
8 years of jokes.
8 years of bullshit.
What
your
kind
new
of soda
double
did you
I
have?
like it a lot.
I'm just curious. You put rum in it. I was wondering how. Did you get
Cheer
your
wine.
wine? Cheer
I-
wine and rum?
No, I had drank everything from the soda place.
You put Mountain Frost in it?
Whatever I think it was Mountain Explosion.
Oh, all
was
right.
the one that was most easily accessible,
That
and I knew it was
can-
open.
The canned fake Mountain Dew is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Really?
Mountain,
It tastes-
the invisible Mountain Frost
I
is
didn't.
really good.
I didn't realize there were cans in there
Yeah,
that
there
could
are.
be consumed.
Also, a bottle of citrus spritz.
Yeah, I saw like a a pink fruit flavored one. I didn't want to open that.
Oh, no, the pink fruit flavored one is...
Just citrus soda. Or
no, isn't that the pink lemonade from Bojangles 9
no,
pay-per-views
that
ago?
stuff's gone.
Is it?
No, there was a 2-liter in there.
Okay.
that
There's
I hadn't seen
there's
before.
pink soda and there's like fruit punch soda.
I like a fruit punch soda, but it should be red. It should not be pink.
Citrus spritz.
Citrus spritz.
Citrus
Is that
spritz.
pink? The
Citrus
citrus
spritz.
spritz?
Citrus spritz.
Kind of orangey.
Citrus
Okay.
spritz.
Citrus fruits that don't make orange juice, but we've equated citrus to orange, so we must put the appropriate food coloring in.
Citrus spritz.
Yes. Because basically, aren't all sodas colorless?
Hashtag not all sodas.
No.
I don't know. Yep. So, guys, here we are, still doing a thing.
So, Chuck,
Here we are. Yeah,
pretty different show than the one you listened to earlier today,
a
huh?
lot different.
How long did that take you? Like 3 hours?
It took a while.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the second half, or did you skip that?
I saved the second half for when I'm driving because it wasn't relevant to what I was doing. I had to get what I was doing done. But I'm very interested to hear all your picks for
Oh, they're terrible.
movies that are so bad we will never watch them on the show.
Yeah.
Is that our second hot topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We actually came up with topics for like the first 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have emails or anything. So
Right. I guess we never saw other movies or decided to talk about them.
No.
Oh, well.
we did the first one, the first take we did, because we talked about Watchmen and something else.
Watchmen.
Didn't
Did
we
did
also
talk
like?
about Hot Rod?
Yeah, I thought we watched Hot Rod like
We
immediately.
did.
Yeah.
We did watch it.
Yeah, that was our palate cleanser. That was back in the days.
Yeah,
where,
remember
like,
we had time?
Yeah, back in the days when it was like we're gonna watch a movie, record a podcast, and then watch another movie.
Because we've got a whole Sunday to do fuck all with.
Yeah,
Oh, was that or play Rock Band?
Yeah. Man, back in the
In the set list.
halcyon days of our youth.
Yeah, the salad days.
Salad days. That's what I was looking for.
Anyway, let's light this candle.
let's.
I should be making that reference in regards to Shakespeare, but it's really more Raising Arizona. I'm just going to be honest.
That's true.
It's okay. Nobody cares.
Okay.
How about that?
All right. Let's do this, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If I have to, I'm stuck.
yeah.
Stuck in front of Chuck's car.
That's the plan.
You're boxed in.
Forever. Never again.
Always.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 366.
Woo!
More importantly,
Then what? Then 366?
yeah.
Yeah, there's more important things.
Oh, what's that?
8.
You can divide that by a whole bunch of different numbers, like 3 and 2.
Maybe 8
You can probably
Possibly.
divide by 8 in there somewhere.
somehow.
Yeah,
it's
8.
This is our 8th anniversary episode, more or less.
8 whole years of you fuckers. Some
Right.
of that with Chuck.
Yeah. I've been here
Some
for
with
a
us
few of
fuckers
those.
and some with us chuckers.
Yes.
Yeah. But hey, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every one of these episodes for 8 years is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot
Hooray,
Jocks.
Robot Jocks.
Robot jocks.
That's a good movie.
We really like that.
However, there are bad movies, and so stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags as in douchebags after Twilight. Boo.
That's
Or
not a good movie.
General
like
douchebaggery in general.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Don't like it. Not a fan of douchebagging.
So, yeah, we are doing a dumb theme month thing, I guess.
Ish.
As we do.
Every March.
We're doing March to WrestleMania.
Uh-huh. Probably the last March to WrestleMania for us.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know. We got a whole year between,
Yeah.
when this ends and when the next one comes.
True.
So,
There's a lot of cartoon wrestler movies
that's
out
true,
now.
Oh, boy.
so we audibled a couple times on this one, and we ended up doing 1996's Terminal Rush.
Yeah.
Starring Don the Dragon Wilson, but more importantly, for theme purposes, Roddy Piper.
Yes.
Roddy Piper. Put some respect on his name.
Okay.
Yes, put some respect
Yes.
on it.
Rowdy Roderick Piper.
Rowdington Roderick Piper.
Right.
the first.
Esquire.
So let's get a very brief plot summary out of the way and talk more about it.
Okay.
A local cop tries to save his father and several others who have been taken hostage by terrorists at Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam.
Right.
Or the Cooper Dam.
Cooper
or
Dam.
some other dam. But
It's a dam.
externally, it's very clearly the Hoover Dam.
Right. But they don't call it that.
No.
Sweet damn, though.
Yeah.
It is a pretty sweet
It's
dam.
a damn sweet damn.
Damn sweet dam.
Yeah, boy, this movie.
Yeah, directed by BMFcast alum.
Uh-huh.
Ski School.
Ski school director, Damian Lee.
Yep, who's worked with, apparently, Don the Dragon Wilson a lot.
And other wrestlers. Jesse Ventura. And others.
Yes.
He's a wrestler's friend.
But yeah, hey, you remember that movie, what was it called? Die Hard?
Yes.
I've seen that.
Do you remember when they tried to make a lot of other Die Hards in other places?
Yes.
For about 10, 15, 20 years?
Yes.
This is
Just
one of
about.
them,
It is.
more or less. I mean,
It's Die Hard at a dam.
it breaks the rules a little bit because,
It's hot
He-
garbage.
well, and the hero doesn't start off in the hostage
Sorry,
situation.
spoiler alert.
Yeah. No, he sneaks in.
Right.
Later.
But
He has nothing to do with anything until he sneaks in later.
but it's Die Hard in a dam.
Yeah.
Um,
But I will say this, damn, this looks like every mid-90s low-budget actioner, like straight to VHS type thing,
Yep.
where it's like the lighting is, what's here?
Yes.
And they might have had a couple lights and maybe a reflector, and that's it.
yes, this production is cheap.
Yeah, but like, I mean, this movie doesn't do any favors to itself in the first couple of minutes because it's like Pentagon guys sitting in a room spouting out exposition, and the thing is like they're talking about some crazy new jet fighter they've created, tested, and are ready to sell. But hey, wait, we can actually make more money if we don't sell the plane itself. It's really the technology inside that's worth anything. So we could just sell that, slap a new circuit board in there, and we have another working fighter. So we can get $500 million for selling this circuit board, essentially.
Yeah, it's that always nebulous. The military is having some kind of auction to a whole bunch of countries to sell off their technology.
Was it the military or was it like?
I don't know.
It sure
was
felt
so hard
official.
to fucking tell.
They were one guy was in a military outfit, wasn't he?
But were they going to be selling it like officially, or were they?
I remember
sneakily selling it.
The governor was in the room.
That's right.
Because
They kept calling
the
him
military guy kept like pointing a little toy cannon at him for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It was
it's
on the desk.
like quick cuts and then like noises as new names come up, and it's just here's like 5 seconds of exposition, another name, here's a little bit more. So it's just, hey, how fast can we say a thing that's about a jet fighter and cell parts? You know.
Yeah, and they talk about that, and then it basically does not come up until the last 5 minutes of the movie again.
And when it does, you're like, I don't even remember how this is relevant.
Yeah.
This is like they saw Die Hard and then saw Die Hard 3, and they're like, wait, what if there's like another plan that involves this just kind of being sort of a distraction, blah,
Spoiler
blah,
alert.
blah. I mean, it's just like they saw all the Die Hards. I mean,
Spoiler alert for this movie.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are basically the same movie, and 3 is like, oh, but at the end it's a twist because it was really a distraction the entire time.
What the twist?
So
but after that, we get more flash cuts between credits as we show our bad guys planning their attack on the dam.
right.
Planning it and flashing forward to it, and then back to planning it.
And here's the weird thing: we got the main dude, which is Decker. That's the guy's name, right? Yeah. He's British / Australian in different scenes.
Sure.
And I don't say that like generically. I mean, he switches accents mid scene. And he's just the calm, soft spoken, but then he's like, anyone have a problem with that? And somebody goes, well, what about this? And he's the guy that's just like, yeah, well, if you have a problem with it, this will happen to you. Blam! And shoots one of his henchmen. And like in all of this planning sequence, Roddy Piper is nowhere to be found, and yet he's like his second in command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say during the planning sequence, it's very intricate because on the desk, they have a little piece of plastic fence and a toy car.
Yeah. It's a sweet toy car.
Yeah, it's super.
It's like one of those 1/24th scale ones.
It's a toy blazer.
And
Wait,
at one
no, it's a
point,
12th scale
he kind of
even.
just rolls it back and forth on the table, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then this will happen, and
This
it's
is
like,
where this Jeep will go.
it's like, okay, that sounds like a plan.
And then it'll go all like, and then Optimus Prime comes out and be like,
and then it pops a sweet wheelie.
yeah.
And then we hit the fence and we go craw, and then
He-Man goes, I have the power and I can fly. Whoosh. Yeah, it was a good detailing plan.
yeah. But then it's a bunch of shots of just driving somewhere, like a caravan or 5 or 6, not that model of car that he was using for the demonstration, but other various Jeeps and SUVs. And they just roll up to this dam and all file out, and Roddy Piper files out. Like he's main boss in charge of this, and you're like, wait, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Is this a different faction of people? Who are these people?
But his entrance is what's notable.
Yeah, because like the two like donut eating dam guards are just like, hey, we didn't hear about no military things, And Roddy Piper, who is wearing sunglasses,
He's got like big Oakleys on.
does the dramatic whip off the sunglasses.
Well, no, he shoots one guy in the head.
Yeah,
Because that guy just kind
That's
of
right, he shoots
wanders
the guy-
out.
he shoots that
and
one
then
guy
he kills
first.
the other one.
Yeah.
And then does the sunglass rip off.
and underneath the sunglasses, almost right where the frames were entirely, he's got black face paint on in a little like raccoon mask.
thing. Yeah.
And that's the best part of the movie.
That reveal is like, oh, all right, cool.
100% the best that this movie is going to get.
I think I was so stunned.
Period.
I made Harlow rewind it just to see that again.
Yeah, you're gonna see this in GIF form.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fairly shortly. That is the best part of this movie.
Yeah, but I mean,
But so they've taken over the dam.
yeah, I was going to say the movie cuts back and forth because
Yeah.
it's like, let's see what the terrorists are doing, let's see what Don
Yeah.
the Dragon and family are doing. So we'll go ahead and wrap up what the terrorists are doing.
Yeah.
They roll up, shoot up the place, gain control of the dam, and basically start making a ransom video and ransom calls.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing.
Right.
Don the Dragon, however,
Yeah.
first he's hanging out at a seedy bar.
There's an asshole redneck guy throwing darts at a board and then like taunting one of the servers.
Yeah.
Like okay, go ahead, and then throwing a dart at him and
Yeah.
then
I think
picking on him when
I think it was a her.
Her.
was it a her?
It was a young lady, child lady.
Yeah. It was
She had
someone
no
who,
business
Yeah, I was
working
gonna say
there.
it looked like someone way too young to be in a bar.
Yeah.
I thought someone called her boy.
Nope.
But
Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
He
I
did.
don't-
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Well,
Either way, this androgynous server gets picked on
Correct.
by redneck guy until finally Don the Dragon
well,
kicks a few people in the face and then flashes his badge at
picked
them.
on. All right, let's be clear.
Yeah.
First,
Okay.
they're throwing darts, and you think one of them actually stuck in them.
Yeah.
But all they really did was like, oh my god, dart, and toss the
Tray
tray
of
full of food that they had.
Yeah.
To which the redneck guy grabs it and goes, "That was my dinner. Now you're going to eat off the floor like a dog," and shoving their face down in it. And that's when Don the Dragon is like, "All right,
Knock it off."
Throwing darts was one thing, but now you've gone too far." So there's he basically like grabs the guy who was actually assaulting the server, and then is like, "Hey, I'm a deputy. I'm a
Deputy
marshal.
sheriff.
Like, you need to get out of here." And they're like, "Oh, okay, all right," and they just leave. You're like, "Oh, well,
Yep.
that was good. That resolved peacefully."
Yeah.
And then they come in 5 seconds later.
Well, no, he's like he meets up with his brother, who I still don't to this point. I
it's
don't know what
his
the
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law. I still don't know what his fucking job is. Like
He's
this-
wearing a sheriff's jacket
Yeah.
in the scene because he's got a badge on it, and you're like,
right, but I mean,
I think
later,
he works at the dam, though. I think
he
he's like
works
a
at the
security
dam.
guard.
So he's
at
a
the dam.
security guard at the dam.
Yeah,
maybe.
because at
Okay.
first we're sitting there like, why isn't this dude doing anything? He's
Yeah.
wearing a badge, and he's just watching Don the Dragon like, yeah, you know you're off duty, right? You don't have to save innocent people.
yeah. So like he's just like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Glad you defused that situation. And that's when Don the Dragon is like, I'm going to leave.
Yep.
And man, like because there was like it appeared some time passed from when he threw the people out because he was like they cleaned up the mess and he was kind of consoling the server person, and it was like.
However, in like movie time,
Yeah, I mean,
It's been,
because
like,
he's
15
like
seconds.
He's like, all right, well, I got to go, and then like opens the door to which he basically gets a baseball bat to the abdomen.
Yeah.
like the handle in, and the
just-
guys were just like waiting for him to come out the door.
It's
and
the
jump.
guy and his crew, and they're just like, that
Yeah.
disgrace will not stand.
Now we fight.
Yes.
And it would be an okay fight if they'd gotten anyone else to like fight, because I think Don
If they'd
Wilson,
gotten stuntmen.
Don Wilson can fight, obviously, and we've seen him do it well. But these people are just like, all right, so I do this and then this and that. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Like
it
there's
feels
like
like
no
they had-
practice.
Yeah, it feels like they had 3 runs to try it.
Everything in this movie feels like
everything
it
is
feels
super
like they had maybe 2 takes for every scene.
I'm just saying, like even before the cameras rolled, they didn't.
No,
even
I
take
know.
any
That's
time
what I'm
to
saying.
practice.
I think they got on location and they were like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Try it twice. We'll use the best take, and we've got to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a fight that would be better if other people were fighting Don Wilson, but they don't.
But eventually, he kicks the lead guy onto the pool table, knocks him unconscious, and then the real sheriff comes in.
Well, no, he's kind of knocked the guy over a little bit, and then turns to him and says, "You're going to apologize." And the guy's like, "Nah." And then he basically sends that dude's nasal cavity through his brain. He punches him, all the way upwards.
Well, this dude had also brandished a gun and was going to shoot him until that's when the server
Yeah.
was like, "No, pool cue."
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
But that
anyway.
guy is dead because that's when the sheriff comes in.
Well, yeah, because he comes in and he's like
Snooky.
Hey, yeah, Sheriff Snooky
yeah,
comes in.
big black dude,
Yeah,
bald head, Snooky,
Snooky.
Yeah.
is
Sheriff
his name.
Snooky.
Who he also went to the Samuel L. Jackson School of Inflection and Acting. too.
Yes, very much.
But he does a little thing where he's just like, "Hey, do you want to press charges for excessive force?" No. He said no. Everybody hear that?
Yeah,
I'm
no
pretty sure
problem,
that,
sir.
like you said, I'm pretty sure this dude is dead because he just picks his head up. And he's like, "Nah."
No, he's just Batman dead.
No,
right.
he's
40 beats per minute.
dead.
Anyway, so that's that. It's just like, yeah, but you're kind of a loose cannon, but whatever. I'm off duty. You do the paperwork.
Yeah.
So
Like, why don't you go home?
So yeah, he goes home, To which we meet his I guess his estranged wife.
Yeah,
because
they're separated.
They do mention that they're separated because he was asking somebody if they'd seen her or whatever. So he gets home and she's packing and he's like, "Oh, you're leaving?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I can't stand to live in the desert anymore, and you won't leave with me." And he's like, "Well, I can't." And she's like, "Well, also I'm pregnant."
And he's like, "Oh," and
He's
she's
like-
like, "Come with me," and he's like, "But I can't." And then she's like, "Fine."
I'm still leaving.
So
Yeah, she basically says there's a way you can fix this.
Yeah, leave
you
with
can
me.
leave with me.
and he says, "I can't," and she's like, "Get out," and he's like, "Okay," and then he goes out to the desert and flashes back to this exact scene we've just seen.
There was a buffer terrorist scene in between, but I mean,
Not that
Yeah.
long.
movie time. It was about 3 minutes long.
Right.
I like how they go to zero trouble to actually explain any of the situation. They're just like, "You've got to leave with me. I can't. You've got to leave with me.
Yeah, it's never-
I can't."
it's never
and
clear.
It's literally that's all it is.
Yeah.
Is you have to leave. I can't. You
He-
have to leave. I can't.
He says something later about having to stay in the desert because he feels like he's destined for something.
Right, but he never shares that with his wife.
No,
at least
no.
that we know of.
He doesn't.
Oh yeah,
And she never says why she can't stand the desert.
Right.
Because it's near the Hoover Dam. There's some population there. There's
Yeah,
like,
and his father is there
yes.
because we meet his father.
I was going to say
the next scene.
there's kind of an important thing we just now learned because, I mean, if we're talking real life, Don the Dragon Wilson is half Japanese, half American.
yes,
And in this movie, they're like, "You're Native American," and that's part of your character, like a big part, because that's another thing is like I have a closeness to my tribe here, or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like this is the land of my forefathers, kind of thing, and it's like. I don't know. Like there's just a lot going on. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we stated on multiple occasions we hate characters in movies whose sole motivation is I don't like something, ergo change it. And it's like, have you heard of responsibility? Responsibility generally comes before wants and desires.
Yeah.
You know, like I can try, but you saying I want does not automatically trump my I need to do.
Yes.
You know. So
Well, it's the 90s, so
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
doing a job,
Right.
and especially now she's pregnant, so she's going to have a kid,
yeah.
Right.
you can't work anymore. You
Oh, right,
You
yes,
you have to
yeah.
stop working because
Right,
you
that's
have
true.
to spend every waking moment with that child.
Yes.
Because if you're not, you're a horrible person. And you will be reminded of this multiple times because
Yeah.
it's the 90s.
Yeah.
But
But, yeah,
But
I
he
mean-
goes out in the desert and his dad comes to him. Who his dad apparently is, I don't know if he's the sheriff or
No,
he's like
he's
He's the head security guard at the dam.
dam.
oh,
yeah.
he said okay.
Yeah, because there have been numerous scenes of Roddy Piper and maybe British guy coming upstairs, walking out of the top entrance to the dam and just looking around and then saying like, "Where's the one guy who's unaccounted for?" Mm-hmm. So they are waiting for one more security guard to show up, who is Don the Dragon Wilson's
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
He just hasn't started his shift yet. So yeah,
Okay.
he talks to his dad in the desert, and his dad's just like, "Well, maybe you should go." He's like, I greatness is awaiting me. I can't leave my people. And he's like, come on.
He said like, well, your mom kind of believed in that mumbo jumbo,
Yeah.
but
But she's not here anymore. She left. She got out, even though it was through death.
yeah, she died, but she got out.
Don't die, son.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean that's really all. There's other bullshit. Like basically, he hears about that terrorists have taken over the dam.
well.
Yeah, when he gets back to the
he
station,
goes to the station.
Yeah,
the station's
yeah,
freaking out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's just-
because-
there's FBI guys
because Decker, our fake British guy, has called
except he's really actually British. The actor, I mean.
Is he? Wow, that
Yeah.
seemed comically fake.
yeah. That I want to know where he's from because that accent is fucked.
Yeah,
I know, but I think they were like be
maybe he's from the
Australian.
north. I don't know.
I think it was one of those like be Australian, and it was like that just threw his accent all over.
maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But but Decker has called the FBI or whoever it is. They never really make that clear either.
He's guy in
That-
charge.
Yeah, a government agent.
Yeah.
And said, hey,
They couldn't license the Hoover Dam or any of the actual intelligence agencies in the United States.
but they've called and they've demanded $25 million or they're going to start killing hostages.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, wait, what?
And there was a good establishing scene of that guy in his office where he gets the call and then just shouts out, "Has this been confirmed?" And the director off camera, "Been confirmed, sir." They don't bother to have an actor come in or
I love
redub
it.
the line or anything. It's the first of several instances of this happening.
But as BJ said, that's kind of like how real offices work.
Pretty much.
And it sounds right.
Yes.
It's weird. I mean, it's cheap and it's dumb, and we're just not used to that sort of thing in
Yeah.
a movie, but it works.
Like I yell stuff to my boss, and I sit outside her office and just holler stuff in at her when she's asked me a question.
It's just in a
It's
movie.
really odd.
looks
It's
really
really
stupid.
off-putting, and it's not really mic'd very well, so you can't like.
because it's the
It doesn't
director
sound
behind
right.
the
Yeah,
camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is probably the other issue we should mention with this movie at some point is sounds terrible.
Yep.
It's another one of those movies where all the sound effects are on the primary track for some reason, and all the dialogue is crammed into like
Yeah. Everywhere else.
Yeah,
Or
so-
just live on set and
Yeah.
they never ADR'd any of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Harlow was saying, like you had to basically double the volume level
Yeah.
of what we usually watch a movie at just to be able to hear this. So it's bad. It's I guarantee you this is one of those late 90s DVDs that they just shat out. You know, it's just like put that tape on disc. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, everyone buys movies,
Yeah.
right?
It's an Ultra 2.0 surround. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's got both left and right.
Yeah. Special feature.
Yeah, but that does lead to stuff like that where it's the director yelling from off camera and
But-
they're just keeping that take.
There's also a moment where our government agent guy is on the phone, and it's like they shoot it as though Don Wilson is like spirit walking out to hear the conversation, because he's very clearly in a full fucking closed office,
Yeah.
and yet like it's like got this like kind of mystical noise, like he's out like watching the guy on the phone, and suddenly we're hearing the conversation. It's like, wait, is he also supposed to be hearing this somehow?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's there and Chief Snooky has said, listen, they took the the Chief Snooks. He's like, listen, they took the dam. These guys are here. They want us to just stay out of the way because Don Wilson's like, hey, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, his first introduction to the government guy is he's on the phone barking orders for somebody, like, I need to know about this and this, and he's just like, excuse me, and the guy's like, no, excuse me, and then like he does it again. He's like, excuse me, and he's like, you interrupt me again, and I will throw you out of here.
To which he does.
Yeah,
Well, no, to which he hangs the phone up on this
Don
guy.
Wilson goes click,
Yeah.
and he's like, are you kidding me right now? He's
The
like,
fuck is your major malfunction?
Yeah.
And they like
And the
guns
chief's
are
like-
drawn and
Yeah, the chief's like, no, he's cool, man. He's
Yeah.
cool.
he's a law.
And he's like, get this guy the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
Again, because all of this is done via dialogue, none of this is explained well. We find out that the dad he met earlier works at the dam, and we didn't know this prior to, or maybe it was poorly recorded and we didn't hear it, but it was like he's law enforcement and he's concerned because his father might be at the dam. And it's like, I don't care, get him out of here.
Yep.
So he goes home. You know, the wife's watching TV and is like, if you heard about your dad? He's like, no, I have to go do things. He's like, I'm the only one that knows this place well enough. There's a secret tunnel at the bottom of the dam that I used to go to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I can sneak in there with my one gun and two knives, or maybe
because
or maybe two guns and two knives.
he gears up by opening up this giant chest of stuff and takes out two knives.
The two smallest knives that he could
They're
find.
throwing
in there.
knives.
He has all this shit in a trunk, and he just pulls out a dual knife holster
Yep.
and just puts these two knives in it, and it's just like, all right, let's do this.
well, he's all two knives.
Old Don the Two Knives Dragon Wilson.
And I love that she's like, you're not going to go in there, are you? And he's like,
Yep.
no, I'm just gearing up because why the fuck not?
Bitch, you were ready to leave 9 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
He's two
Shut
knives,
up.
the dragon
You're
guy.
packing as you're talking to me.
I hate you. Not you, John.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so he gears up and then spends a lot of time sneaking around in the rocks, getting down to where he needs to go.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he does.
Chuck will argue with you at one point. I don't think it's him. It's when it's later in the movie. There are several points where it takes people a long time to walk/climb over rocks to get to this dam. And there's one point where the brother-in-law is doing it, and there's clearly water behind these rocks.
That's where the dam water was. I think that's what.
That's where the damn water
That's
was.
what I mean. You know, the incoming. What the dam was keeping back. That's
Sure.
that water. That body of water was. But it just looked like an ocean, and you're just like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah. Anywho,
Yeah.
but yes, he gets to the dam, goes to the secret entrance, gets inside, and then his very first kill when he gets inside of this place is inside a stairwell, and
This doesn't make any fucking sense now that I think about it.
In case you didn't catch it before, when he clearly told you about his Native American heritage from this Asian American man, he leaves a dream catcher on the stairwell, to which this guy walks up and goes, "What's that?" And then he just basically walks up behind him and goes, I don't remember if he stabs him. I think he does.
The guy flashes the flashlight and suddenly sees Don Wilson, and that's when he just punches him in the face.
Oh, didn't he knock the flashlight into his face?
Something
like that?
He doesn't kill him. He just punches him out.
But he
Batman
sneaks up
kills
and then he's just like, "It's a dream catcher."
yeah. And that's it. Like, he doesn't collect it. It's not like he's going to do it again, but
Does that mean he geared up with 2 knives, 1, maybe 2 guns, and a dream catcher?
we never saw him have that. I think he found it along the way somewhere.
No. He brought that from home.
He had a spare one.
I do like, though, that he sneaks into the cave and takes like 4 steps, and his comical movie flashlight instantly dies, to which he taps it like twice and just throws it on the ground. It's just like, fuck this thing. It's the quickest like time from turn on flashlight to this flashlight fucking sucks, get rid of flashlight that I've ever seen in a movie. But yeah, so yeah, he knocked a guy out via Dreamcatcher. Never comes up again.
Nope.
Nothing even remotely close to that comes up again, because the next time he encounters 2 guards, he just hides behind a corner and empties a clip, blind firing into them.
The entire thing.
Yes.
And the reason I'm going to point out, the reason why I keep saying he brought 1 or 2 guns is because I understand movie guns, getting props wrong or whatever, but like the handguns he has are very clearly different types of guns.
Yep. One's a Beretta 92, which is like very super classic movie gun.
Right.
It's a big 9mm. The other is a Walther P38, which is a small...
looks like, your old Luger style gun.
And those two look...
Megatron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
basically, it is, yes.
Those two look nothing alike.
Nothing alike. Like, I mean, I understand, like, oh, we accidentally gave you the 9mm instead of the 45 1911 or something. Like, okay, it's a blocky semi-automatic gun, but, like, not, like, suddenly you're wielding Nazi gun. Like, oh, like, yeah. Anyway.
It's very noticeable. I don't pay attention to guns for shit in movies. And the first thing I was like, does he have a Luger? And then, like, when he was the next time shooting it, I'm like, that's not the same gun. Yeah. And that happens a lot. So,
but anyway, he gets in and slowly sort of murders a couple people.
Yeah, and then at some point during this, didn't Roddy Piper go up on the top of the dam and blow up a helicopter with a rocket launcher?
Yes.
He did, yeah.
For no particular reason.
There were news helicopters, and they were like, well, we don't want to kill any of our hostages, so take out one of those news copters to make our point.
Which he does. He fires a rocket at it, and this news helicopter apparently has missile tracking in it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, beep, 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 beep.
We've established, Chuck, all helicopters have tracking and countermeasures.
No, they don't.
All of them do.
No, they do not.
They got caught off guard. Otherwise, they would have deployed the chaff.
Right. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, we've got tone.
Yeah.
And they try to swerve, and
just bank hard to the left, and then the rocket flies right by. But yeah, so that's randomly happened. Because the other thing is that maybe real British dude is calling the head FBI guy or whoever he is every 4 minutes. And basically, he the first time he calls him, he's just like, you've got 2 hours until I kill a hostage to give us our $25 million. And then he calls him back every 4 minutes and is like, what's the status of my money? Where's my money? Did you get the tape I sent you? It's a real nice looking real estate infomercial where I'm talking about blowing up the dam. And
yeah, that's another thing. Like, they very clearly get a video that's just him and like, it must have been pre-recorded because it's like him in a suit and he's like, hello everyone, I'm Harrison Decker, and you're probably wondering why I'm here and taking over this dam. But then there's like because half of this movie is told via off-screen voiceover and TV clips and things like that and things on the radio. There's a point where they're on the news, they're like, so far authorities have not been able to identify the hijackers, and it's like, yeah, they have.
Well, I mean, they know exactly who they are. I guess that maybe they're not telling the media, but because they know right away. It's like, it's this guy and this guy, and he actually, Don Wilson overhears the main guy say something like, they are mercenaries, not terrorists. We don't understand what they're doing.
Oh, that's right, when he was spirit walking through the office, right?
He was like, they're just mercenaries. Why are they doing this? This doesn't make sense. This is not their MO.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that's Roddy Piper's MO because he's a fucking maniac and will just murder anyone he's given the chance to murder.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's every single time it's like there's some like even the slightest little beef. He's like, "You want me to murder him?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like his go-to thing. It's like,
Well, I mean,
"Oh, we found the last security guard. Want me to murder him?"
God, there's one point where it's just like he calls. They have their little in-house communication system, and he calls main bad guy, and it's just like, "You want me to go back up and shoot down another helicopter?" He's like, "No, that would be foolish." And then literally 2 minutes later, he's like, "Go up top and shoot down another helicopter." He's like, "Finally." It's like,
But
okay,
It's like he knows he has to sate his
Yeah.
bloodlust every
Yeah.
once in a while, or
Yeah.
he's just
otherwise he will just.
he's
turn
like a
on
dog.
anyone.
You need to let him out, or he's going to pee on the floor.
Yes.
And that's kind of what Roddy Piper. Like you got to let him blow up a helicopter, or he's going to pee on the floor.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
That's-
That's equatable.
yeah, that ancient Chinese proverb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one of the things that like there's lots of things in this movie that break its flow, but one of its biggest sins is because you didn't straight up rip off Die Hard and just have him be in the dam for whatever reason, because you can write a better movie. Like he takes out a couple of the terrorists and then immediately goes and finds the hostages. Like I mean, it's like takes out like 3 dudes and then goes and like, "Oh, hey, Dad. Oh, you're locked up. You're handcuffed to this thing, which I could probably easily get. Oh, but they've rigged explosives to your handcuffs. I don't know why, because they're not expecting anyone to be able to get in here.
Right.
But they've done that, so I got to go get the key. That's the only way I can free you. So we're just
I do like that the dad calls him out. And he's like, "You got in here and you didn't have a plan."
Yeah. He's like, "Well, give me a second to think. Shut up." And he's like, "You don't have time to think. Get us out of here." And he's like, "I gotta go. You're messing with my chi."
Yeah, and then this other guy goes, "He's going to get us killed." And the dad is like, "You shut the fuck up, Ted."
Yeah, Ted. You weren't going to survive
it actually
anyway.
is a guy named Ted.
Yeah.
for once.
You shut up,
and
Ted.
he's like, "You shut up."
You weren't going to live through this
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, you were fucking dead anyway. So
This is a mild-mannered security guard.
Yeah.
It's just a kindly old man. And all of a sudden, he's just like, this 40-year beef with Ted has risen to the
man.
surface. It's like, shut up, Ted. That's my son.
I want the backstory between Don Wilson's dad.
I know you
and
ate my
Ted.
fucking yogurt in 1983, Ted. I didn't say anything then, but fuck you now.
It was the Greek yogurt where you pour the stuff in it, like the graham cracker crust, and it's fucking good, man. And you ate it, Ted. Mm-hmm. I will fucking murder you, Ted.
Yeah. And then, so there's a big midsection of the main dude is like, deploy the special forces. And so 3 or 4 dudes in regular ass army camo in the desert
Green, like forest camo.
Yeah.
Yes.
are
Like hasn't been used since the early '80s camo.
It's used wherever you are.
it's
Like,
used, just it doesn't do any good in the desert.
we haven't
Yeah.
seen it because we've generally avoided warfare combat, jungle warfare, warfare
for a while,
warfare
yeah.
combat
Warfare
since the
combat.
since the 70s, and Grenada.
But it's constant shots of dudes rappelling down a rock and jumping over rocks and hiding behind rocks, and it just goes on, and it's intercut with Roddy Piper has taken a dude. He's been ordered to take one of the hostages up to the top of the dam and throw him off because the every 4-minute demands have not been met.
Yeah.
Intercut with that is Don Wilson, who has found the one guy on the mercenary squad who can kickbox, and they have decided to shadow kickbox each other in the basement of the dam, which is just them kind of kicking at each other and missing for the longest time. It's just like whoosh, whoosh.
That is a long ass fight sequence that is
Yeah.
boring as fuck.
Because there's no contact being made. No one's touching each
It's
other. They're
just
just
the-
demonstrating at each other like, look what I can do. And then it's cut back to army dudes coming down the rocks and, hiding behind rocks, and then Roddy Piper getting a super murder boner to throw this guy off.
Mm-hmm.
And we never find out if he threw the guy off or not, because then he's down on the ground with a rocket launcher shooting at the army dudes, and these
because
little
they've rigged explosives around
Yeah.
the rocks where magically the soldiers are.
luckily,
Yeah.
and they just set them off, and just little explosions in paint cans go and all the army dudes go, "Oh God!" and fall back like they've been just assassinated. Some of them have shotguns and they're trying to shoot like a mile.
Yeah.
They're armed, but there's
Yeah,
no consistency to their
it's-
weapons. They had like 2 M16s and a sniper rifle and 2 shotguns. Those are what the army brought to solve this problem. It's bad, but he fights the guy in the basement for a while and
Eventually beats him up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm just trying
honestly, I believe the next thing he does is he encounters Piper, and they fight for like half a second, and then he captures Piper. Because
he does that later.
Yeah.
What happens is he gets up. When he's by the hostages, he captures Decker at gunpoint.
yeah.
And then as he's capturing Decker, his brother-in-law shows up
Right.
and is like, "You got to put the gun down."
I thought he took Piper to Decker.
Later.
Okay.
What happens for like the brother-in-law has had his own little story where he
He went to the sister and she said, "Oh, he went down there," and he's like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
he's using the tunnels down below." And she's like, "Yeah, should I tell Snooki?" And he's like, "Don't tell Snooki. Do not call Snooki.
Whatever you do,
don't call Snooki.
don't call Snooki.
There's an actual line of dialogue
Yeah.
in a motion picture.
Dial the Snooki.
So he is like frantically trying to get to the dam, and eventually just kind of pops in like, "What are you doing
at
here?"
the least opportune moment.
Yeah, and so it becomes like the end of Reservoir Dogs, where Don the Dragon Wilson has a gun on main bad guy, and then brother-in-law pops in and is like, "Haha, let him go. I'm in on this too." And Don the Dragon Wilson is like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he's like, "Your sister's not the only one that wants to get out of this shithole."
Yeah, everyone wants out of this town.
Yeah, like, what is so bad about this town?
And also, he drops out of nowhere. He drops this nugget of knowledge. He's like, "Just because I'm dyslexic doesn't mean I'm stupid."
Yeah, he says it like it's been this long-running thing, like they're always making fun of him for being stupid, and it's like, this has literally never happened the entire time we've watched this movie.
I'm like, "Oh, you're dyslexic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's
well,
all right. And then for the rest of the movie, like everyone's like, "Go get that dyslexic fuck."
Yeah, they start ragging on him for being dyslexic.
It's
and
like, and you find
it's only a setup for the stupid.
It
like,
is.
It's
It really is.
It is
pointless setup.
It is just to hammer this detail into your head about this dumb thing that happens at the end. But up until then, it's just like, whoa, everyone chill out on this guy, man. He's obviously very upset about his entire life circumstance.
go get that dyslexic cuff." I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
it's bad.
yeah, but he is freaking the fuck out, and Don Wilson is just like, "Whoa, man, where's this all coming from? I don't know what you're talking about." How does that resolve it? How do they?
Everyone else shows up. Like the other guys show up and start shooting,
Okay.
and basically they I don't know how they get away because
Yeah, I mean, I thought he captured Piper at gunpoint, took him up to see Decker, then they took.
No, because he's encountered Piper at one point. They've had some brief encounter, because then he kills the one guy and smears the oil over his eyes, and Piper
I
finds
think
that
that's
guy.
after that.
No,
Okay.
that's what motivates Piper to go track him down.
All right.
yeah, this movie has a lot of the same thing happening over and over
Mm-hmm.
because it's only really like 3 sets inside this plant, or however you want to put it.
Yes.
And so it gets confusing about who's where when.
It's like 3 camera setups, and they're just
Yeah.
like, how many scenes can we shoot here in one day?
Right.
But he takes out the one guy and it pisses off Piper.
Yeah, because
For some reason, that guy.
well, when he escapes the group of all the dudes who have come up to get him, like there's been gunfire and everything, and Don Wilson has traded up to a machine gun, which he's fired off at a couple guys. And once that scene has kind of ended, Piper comes walking up, and there's one guy who's clinging not only to life but to the railway, and Piper's just like, "All you people are useless, fuck you," and steps on his hand and lets that guy fall to his death.
Yeah.
So
he didn't care about that guy.
no, but then he stumbles across the guy that Don Wilson has painted his face to look like Piper, and man, it's fucking game on at this point. He's caressing this dude's face and is just like, he's so pissed. Like, I don't understand. He's like, he's taking this as some sort of personal affront.
Yeah, 'cause
but it's
he
like,
goes-
who gives a fuck, man? What? Like,
That guy had face paint. He had,
Yeah,
like,
'cause it
they were
didn't-
raccoon brothers.
Yeah, it didn't matter before, but he's like, now it's personal.
Is that when you've eaten the same trash as someone else?
yes, when you both eaten out of the same garbage can, you're raccoon brothers.
Oh, you're done with the same dumpster as me? Oh,
Wow.
man.
Raccoon
Wow.
bros. Yeah, so that man,
but
he
yeah,
gets fired.
he does
fucking
the
up.
now it's personal.
Yeah.
Now it's fucking personal.
Yeah,
And
It really doesn't matter because the plot of this movie is so dumb. He encounters the brother-in-law while he has Piper captured. That's
Yes.
what he meets, and he gives the speech of I'm dyslexic and all that, because what ultimately ends up happening is he captures Piper, he takes him up to see Decker, and he's I think he's gotten his dad. No,
he's got the brother.
He's
the
let the
brother-in-law.
hostages. No, he goes
No,
to get the key.
Yeah. He has to get the key from Decker
Right.
because Roddy Piper won't tell him where the key is.
Yeah.
And then the brother, I believe, tells him Decker has it.
Something
Right,
like
that's-
that.
yeah.
Or no, one of the guys that he took out, like one of the guards or
Yeah.
whatever.
but
He's got both of them at gunpoint up to see Decker, and he's standing there, arms crossed.
Yep. In the dumbest move you could possibly do.
Yeah, to hold each of them at gunpoint, arms crossed, and just Decker like strolls out of his office and is like, "Oh, hello."
Well,
He's
we
like,
have a
oh,
situation.
he's like, well, you obviously need something from my shithole, brother-in-law. So if I kill him, that obviously messes with your plan. And I think you like your main boy here, so what's it going to be? And he's like, oh, fine, whatever. You can have the hostages. I don't need them for what I have planned now anyway.
Yeah.
And tosses him the key. So he leaves with Piper and his brother-in-law.
yeah, which what?
Yeah.
Like they're actually he actually like goes through with the exchange.
And also Decker's up there by himself because
Yes.
like nobody draws a gun on him at this point. He's just like, all right, cool, go get the hostages, which he easily does. And then it's Dad and him holding guns on Piper and the brother-in-law.
Marching through the
and
dam.
Decker's just standing there like, don't shoot, because now everybody's come out and is like, give me the word, I will shoot all the hostages and these guys.
like, no,
He's like, let him go. And so all the hostages get out, and just as they're about to go out the door, the guys start shooting, which basically means Piper and the brother-in-law can escape. It's like, and they shut the door.
Well,
and it's
Piper
like,
grabs the brother-in-law.
Right, and-
Brother-in-law probably wanted to get out with them, but
yeah, and he puts him in like a chokehold and is like, we're going to the computer room, and they get out, and the
and I
dad's
love
like,
that the dad's like, "Fuck him."
the dad's like, oh, there's nothing to do. We go back in there, we're dead. He's like, all right.
Yep.
So their plan now is lead them back through the secret tunnels underneath the dam or whatever. Piper and company take them to the computer room because this movie didn't really bother to explain. Brother works at the dam. He knows the super secret access code that gets them in. Which
Because what they want to do is they don't have enough explosives to blow up the dam. But they have, if they get the password, they can just overload it and open up the floodgates.
Which this is explained to us by the government guys because when Decker calls, he's like, "I know you don't have enough explosives to blow up the dam," and Decker's like, "Yeah, I know. We got another way. Don't
Yeah.
sweat it."
And he's
And
like,
then-
why didn't anybody tell me there's another way?
Well, that's
because-
the
that's
guys
because
have to explain
there's this
it to
dude,
him.
like, it's great because I don't think we ever see this dude face on. There is
No.
one government dude that's just like, he's got like the classic, round the back bald thing
Lobot.
going
Oh,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Lobot
Lobot hair going on. And we never see this dude face on. And so he's just looking at this whiteboard where they've been drawing up the plans or whatever. And he's like, he called me on the bluff. They don't have enough explosives. And the guy's like, well, sir, there may be another way. He can overload the capacitors. He's like, what? Why did you tell me that?
Plan's back on. Oh my God, we gotta get the hostages.
He does totally call that guy out on it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Why didn't you tell me that?"
But the voice they give this dude that we never see his face
Yeah.
is just like,
It's
I
bad.
don't know. They could probably overload the reactors.
Because like in the call before, he's like, "Look, I'm on level with you. We don't have 25 million, and you don't have the explosives to do it. So why don't you just come out?" And then the next call is like, "We're gonna get that money for you.
Yeah, 'cause-
just don't do whatever weird overloady thing you're gonna
Because
do."
the dude's making it pretty clear that, like, look, it's going to suck if the hostages die, but just don't blow up the dam because that's going to be real expensive.
Yeah,
And so when he threatens the dam, he's like, all right, I'll get you the money.
yeah. So they take the brother-in-law up to the control room and it's just like, "Give us the password." And this is a long process of just punching the guy in the stomach over and over again until finally he just goes, and they're like, "Thank you very much." And then he just takes a knife and stabs him in the back of the neck.
Did he actually audibly say the password, or would that have ruined the dumbass
He
scene?
whispered it into his ear.
Okay.
Well,
It is implied that he whispered it
Yeah.
because the sound was terrible, and then nothing happened when he leaned close to his ear, and then he leaned back, and Decker or whoever said, "Thank you."
He's, "Thank you."
And, yeah, stabs him in the back.
Right. And then they're like, "All right, our work here is done. Let's go put on the wetsuits and get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. To which all the hostages apparently have already gotten out. Like they left Dad and Don Wilson behind.
Yeah.
And
And through all the rain that's coming in, all the water starts.
yeah,
leaking
well,
in.
that's he's like, hey, Dad, what's going on down here? And he's like, oh, they're probably overloading the reactors. He's like, I gotta go back in. He's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna die if you do. And he's like, Yeah.
Yeah, this is just my favorite scene because they clearly live mic'd this room with all this water pouring everywhere.
Yeah.
And all you hear is the water, like, in the main channel, and you kind of hear them mumbling in the background of it. And it's like, fuck you. Like, just re-record some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he starts going back up to save the day or whatever. And
We missed the scene at one point where Piper and Don Wilson confront each other in the stairwell.
Yeah.
That's when Piper's in full rage mode, like, I'm
right.
gonna fucking kill you. And they have guns at each other's chins, and that's when Decker cuts the power. And they, like, explode out through a door,
yeah.
and they fight each other a little bit. But
Yeah, because the power got cut because, like, apparently everyone in this town wants to get out and is in on it because, like, the MPs at some other base are discussing what they're going to do with all the money they made from selling out this thing.
that's the airbase where the circuit board that was being discussed in the opening scene is, because at some point they all caravan in and get the thing and caravan out.
not showing any of it. It's
No.
really just like we're watching two security guards and they're like, oh, I guess they did it.
Yeah,
It's like
you're literally watching two just Beavis and Butthead just standing there, just like, well, what are you going to do with your money? And then cars go in, and then you cut back to them, and they're like, man, we're going to be rich. And cars go out, and you're just like, well, that was a great scene.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense initially because you're like, they only asked for $25 million. Like, they're having to pay off a lot of people in this town.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, yeah, so the bad guys have gone. So, like, Don Wilson is basically just given free reign to, like, walk back into this place.
Yep.
So he goes right to the control room, which, again, I don't know how the fuck he would know where it is. Maybe gone, you know.
Well, he played
maybe-
there as a kid. His dad was the head security guard. He knew
All
that
right.
place inside and out.
Okay. Well, so he goes right to the security room. And he's like, oh, well, that sucks. You know, brother-in-law's dead. I guess I'll try to hack the Gibson here and turn off the dam.
Well, he hits a button, and it's just
Turn
like
off the damn what?
access denied, and he's like, oh, there's a password. And then the brother-in-law on the floor, it just starts gurgling. And he's just like, you're almost dead. Tell me the password. And he goes, "Ah," and then looks like he dies again. And you're just like, well, all right, that was great.
Yeah.
Well, because he was saying his name, and it's like, oh, so the password is my name, Harper?
Yeah.
No?
No, it's not. But he looks over, and
He's written in blood.
he's written the password in blood on the floor, which says
Rats.
Rats.
And, you know, the R is backwards, and it's, you know, he's dyslexic. We've established this. And he's like, he types in rats, and it's just like, access denied.
Access denied.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
And,
So he types star.
well, he looks at it and he goes, rats. Star. Types in star. I want to give someone credit. The first assistant director, whoever, actually had them punch star on whatever this keyboard
Yeah.
was. It wasn't stock footage of some bullshit typing. And,
and
yes,
the timer stops at 1 second.
yes, the password for the dam was star.
The password is...
I would have liked it better if it was rats.
Yes.
I would have totally been about it being
Either
rats.
way, what on earth? Why is the entire security of the dam a 4-letter simple password? But yeah, so I guess
They didn't have
whatever.
any damn security.
Yeah, well, I guess whatever's going to happen to Dan is done. Because then it's just he emerges from the dam and Snooky is there. He's like, "Come on, man, our work here is done. Let's go home." I guess the terrorist fucked off and left.
Like,
Let's get out of
Snooki,
here.
Jay, wow, you're here.
So they get the police car, and it's Snooky's driving, and him and his wife is in the back seat behind the this little chicken wire gate.
Yeah, and Don Wilson's he's like, man, something's just not coming together.
He zones out a little bit and starts flashing back to, like, he remembers hearing, like, they're mercenaries, not terrorists. What are they? Blah, blah, blah. And then something about the Air Force Base, and he was just like,
Yeah, he's like, I should probably call that CIA guy.
I think something might be going down at the Air Force
And-
Base.
I love that the chief's like, no, you don't need to call him.
Yeah, let's
You're
think-
going to make
let's-
a fool of
let's
yourself.
think about this
if you
for a
call
minute.
him first.
You're going to embarrass yourself and the town. Why don't you just not do it? And he's like, no, I'm going to do it. And then he's like, no, you're not. And then the Snooki starts punching the fuck out of Don the Dragon Wilson as he's driving the car. It's just over and over again. Punch, punch, punch. And the wife is in his backseat like, hey, what's happening?
Yeah, well,
The car's weaving all over the
Yeah.
road. And
they're fighting in the front.
finally, Don the Dragon Wilson starts fighting back.
He eventually just knocks the chief out.
Yeah, and takes over driving.
Yeah.
But
Well, they leave the chief like in the middle of nowhere,
yeah, they do.
so that he can't get in touch with anybody to warn them,
Right.
and somehow magically knows where the deal is going down.
Yeah, because they don't go to the Air Force Base. They go to wherever the deal happened, because you're seeing the tail end of the deal where they're like, all right, you got the money, check out the chip. All right, you guys are good to go. And it's just Piper and Decker, and they turn to leave, and behind them with a shotgun is Don Wilson, like, all right, you guys aren't going anywhere. To which... How does he get disarmed so quickly? Because he's got the drop on them.
Because there's another guy. There's a third guy.
That's the guy who shoots him in the leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, by the way, he's shot in the arm too. He's been shot in the
Yes.
arm, but we didn't mention it because the movie doesn't act like it's a big deal. He gets shot in the arm, and then it never matters except when someone swings a briefcase at him.
Yeah.
Which is what happens during this fight. Basically, is that he takes out Piper pretty quick because he's down on his knees, and Piper's like, "Let me kill him slow." And he goes over to him, and then just immediately Don Wilson pulls out the two. I don't know how he got them back because he never retrieved them, and pulls out the two throwing knives and just throws them at the guy who shot him and Piper. Mm-hmm. Kind of hits the guy who shot him in the hand, but that guy goes down like, "Oh God, I'm dead."
Yeah.
It's just another part of this movie's poor editing and filming and acting. It got him in the neck.
Okay.
And he
because
pulls it out.
All right. It looked like he just had it in his hand.
We see DDW throw the knives, and then it cuts to him pulling the knife out of his neck, and there's a splotch of blood on his neck, and he...
Yeah.
Well, that guy goes down, and Piper's got
Piper
it in the
gets
chest,
it in the
though.
chest and
Yeah.
pulls it out, and is just like, man.
Well,
he's like, that was pretty good.
He was like, it's pretty good, but you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm going to murder you, and starts staggering over to him, to which he just does a comical pratfall and falls down dead. And so now it's time for Don Wilson to get into a fight with the 60-year-old British man, who instantly gets the upper hand by just smacking him around with his
the
briefcase
full of money.
Yeah. And I don't remember how this ends either. I don't...
He basically just beats it. Don Wilson just beats him up.
Yeah.
He overcomes getting hit with a briefcase
Right.
and being shot in the leg and
Yes.
arm, and
Because then it cuts to the authorities. They're taking him away. Like there's no comeuppance for it's just that they take that guy away.
Yeah.
And like the main
And the guy's like, well, all the law enforcement was crooked, so I guess you're the sheriff now.
and his
Congrats.
wife is there, and she's like, I guess I'll have to stay until you recover, but I'm leaving then after that. You can come with me if you want. And he's like, I'd like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just violent fade out to credits. It's like, this is one of the lamest endings for one of these. Like, Piper kind of gets it, but doesn't seem like he got it good enough.
No.
And the bad guy doesn't get it at all. And we still don't know what the fuck this movie was about, or what. I mean, I don't know.
It's bad.
It just seems like the whole town was corrupt. They should just nuke this town from orbit.
Yeah.
Just open up the dam, open up the floodwaters, cleanse this town. The last scene should have been Don Wilson going back to the dam, typing star in again, and just letting the whole thing rinse this town's sins away.
Fuck you, Nevada.
So, a question. Obviously, no Stargrove, because this is like someone listened to Terminator 2 and was like, how can we make that soundtrack?
Yeah.
But cheap.
Yeah, but cheaper. But do we give an ensign for freaking out guy?
I think he
freaking
freaks
out
out
brother-in-law.
pretty good.
He freaks out pretty good.
And for no reason.
Yeah.
He just immediately starts freaking out and is volunteering the pointless information. It's just, I would say
So, ensign?
Yeah.
All right.
That guy is
So-
instantly panicky. And
So, asshole brother-in-law, congrats. You're an ensign award.
yes, good job, guy. Young Chris Parnell.
Yeah. Yeah. However, actual ratings, I can go 1 bags on
Okay.
this. And it hurts because, like, I love Roddy Piper in this.
Yep.
There's just not enough of him, but he's just... Someone said it during the movie, like, he was in a different movie than everyone else.
Yep.
He was the guy who understood, like, what this movie needed and was trying to give it. The problem is nobody else was even remotely anywhere near any of that, including the script.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily have proper reason to be freaking out about his buddy that suddenly it's personal now, despite him just murdering other henchmen for no particular reason. But yeah, it's so dull, and it takes so long to get anywhere that's good. And just the fighting and all the other stuff just isn't... The action's bad. It's just straight up bad throughout.
Yeah.
and just recycled shots over and over, and it's so dull that it's only one bags. It's lame. It's lame.
It's lame.
And the name doesn't mean shit.
No.
The name's just like, hey, it's the 90s. What sounds cool? Terminal Rush. Okay.
Well, at a certain point in the movie, I think it's when Piper and Don are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where he picks up a computer monitor and hucks it at Don. I was like, oh, there's the Terminal Rush.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, there was nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing throughout this entire movie that made that name make any sense.
Terminal Rush should have been a skydiving movie.
When they were talking about the plane, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what the terminal.
Yeah.
Plane means fuck all in this movie.
Because, like, literally in the first 10 seconds, you see a plane flying somewhere and blowing up a target, and you're like, wait, what is this about? Nothing.
Yeah. I guess I'll go.
Sure.
I actually feel a little more strongly about not liking this movie. Piper is fine, and there are things that are kind of funny in this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I couldn't go as low as 4 or 5 bags for the sunglasses taking off alone. Like that is so good. So I'm gonna give it 3 bags. Like this is bad. Like there's nothing about this that is shot or made well, and there's just not enough laughable stuff happening to make it worth the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when the best thing about your entire movie will be equally as good in a 5-second animated GIF, you have not made a good movie.
That's correct.
And I don't even want to talk about it any more than that.
Okay. I'm also going to give it 3 bags. I do not like this movie at all. I think, like the couple of moments we pointed out, just him shouting he's dyslexic and the Roddy Piper thing, taking off his glasses, and a couple of other Roddy Piper things are kind of it for this movie. Like I said earlier, it feels like they had camera setups and they had 7 days, and they were like, how much stuff can we film in each location? And it kept bothering me the entire time that I could see how many shots over the course of the movie were filmed in the course of an hour because they had set up in a hallway somewhere, and how many times they would fake going up and down stairs by just keeping the camera on a platform and having them go up and down stairs more than once and make it seem like they were going up multiple flights of stairs. That's bullshit. It's just a nothing movie. There's nothing. I will forget everything about this movie by the time I go to sleep tonight.
Except those sunglasses.
Yes, except the sunglasses.
Yes, because we need that animated GIF.
It's coming.
You can't forget that.
Oh, trust me, it'll happen.
Okay, thank you.
But everything. I mean, it's like there's zero effort in this. It's like they had some money and they're like, we have to make a movie. What do we do? So, yeah, it's a bummer.
I was going to give this movie 3 bags. Because I really don't I like nothing about this movie except for
You were gone 7 minutes in. I could tell you were just like, nah.
I thought you were asleep at one point.
I was for
Okay.
it was
All
real
right.
quick, but there was the point that you thought I was asleep. I was just bored to tears and leaning on my leaning on my arm, trying my hardest to pay attention.
Yeah. No, I think we were madder that you were not laughing at our long riff that we were doing about the movie.
I was not paying it.
Okay.
I just couldn't manage to pay attention to anything.
Even we couldn't bring you out of it.
Yeah.
No. There was and normally I'm in for the jokes if we're making jokes.
It's fine.
The only good thing about this movie is Roddy Piper snatches his sunglasses off, and there being raccoon sunglasses underneath it.
Yep.
That is fucking brilliant.
Which is, he has that on his face the entire
rest of the movie.
He also has black fingernail polish. And he has his normal haircut, but it's permed for some reason.
Yeah.
And gets even curlier as the movie goes. I get all that humidity.
It's humid.
sweat.
Yeah. It's humid out there by the dam.
Right. So it's an odd look for Mr. Piper.
I can assure you, at the Hoover Dam, it is not the least bit humid, even by the dam.
Well, maybe inside the dam it's humid.
Yeah. All the inner workings. All the steam.
You don't know a damn
Lots of
thing.
steam in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big old steamy dam. Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Steamy dam is my knockoff Steely Dan.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
But, man, everything sucks about this. Don the Dragon Wilson sucks in this movie.
the movie doesn't do him
Garbage.
any favors.
Garbage.
None.
Nothing he does is good.
Yeah.
His character is bad. His acting is bad. Literally everything is bad. His haircut is bad. We had the same haircut in 1996, and
Everyone
it was
had
bad.
that haircut.
It was bad.
There's an excessive number of butt shots, not bare butt shots
Oh.
of Don Wilson, but
Yes, that ass for some reason happens 18 times in this movie, but it's Don the Dragon Wilson's ass, and you're just like, why?
they like continually give you a shot of him going up ladders
Yes.
inside the dam, and it's just like, hey, camera, let's watch that ass going up the ladder. So,
Yeah.
hey, if that's your thing. If you're
Well, there's even 2 or 3 shots of him just standing somewhere, and the camera starting at his feet and just panning up his whole body. Like, who's it going to be? Oh, it's Don the Dragon Wilson. And you're like, well, yeah, of course.
There's
It's
plenty of dragon ass.
This
episode
movie,
title.
Dragon Ass, the movie. But did I rate this yet? I don't think I did.
You wanted to give it 3 bags. is
I
what you said.
I was going to give it 3 bags originally when we came in here. Now I'm even more mad about the movie in general. So I'm going to give it 4 bags. May God have mercy on its soul. You go. I'm so mad at this movie.
I'm so mad. Okay.
It made me angry.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's just like nothing redeemable about this movie except Roddy Piper. And he's a national treasure. So
Yes.
And now he's buried.
Wow.
well, it means nobody can steal him now, I guess.
Well, let's
Hey.
take a break, shall we?
Yeah, happy anniversary, everybody.
Yeah. Fuck you, 2017.
Yeah. Break time.
We're gonna steal Rowdy Piper.
This Rowdy Piper's trying to tell us something. What if
There's
he-
a
guys, what
the
if he left
Declaration of
clues
Independence is on the back of
in
Rowdy
all his
Piper.
movies? There's a clue in each one.
You have to put on the sunglasses, which actually contain other sunglasses behind them in order to see.
Put on the raccoon paint.
Yeah.
Got some moist ears going
Yeah.
here.
Woo.
Oh.
I just need a little bit of ice, and then I'm ready to go.
Ice.
Fucking show on the road.
Yeah. Ice.
I drank
hell,
all
I
my
still got-
liquor. It's gone.
There's more.
You're right, but I probably shouldn't.
Oh, come on. It's an anniversary. Live a little.
Yeah.
We only have 8 years once.
Oh, man. Yeah, because we're certainly not getting another 8. Not out of this earth.
I will keep my car in the driveway for another 8 years.
I do. I like every once in a while I think about that. I'm like, are we going to be like 60? And we're in here like, man,
I'd hope we'd be in a bigger
that
studio.
Skull Island. Remember when that came out? King Kong? Nobody liked it.
Well, at that point, we'll be at the Kong Godzilla Pacific Rim spin, everything tied in together.
Yeah.
Did I read that the ultimate goal of the new Kong movie is they're going to do a Godzilla Kong
They are.
crossover again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe, if I understand it correctly, they are supposed to eventually tie Pacific Rim into it also.
All right. Sure. Why not?
If it happens, I like it.
I mean, if
Yeah, I think I'll be seeing that this weekend. I think,
I would like to
because,
see that.
yeah, don't think I'm going to be able to talk Jen into Get Out.
No, probably not.
Logan is probably a bad idea
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea with,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with what's going on right now, bad idea. So yeah, I think Skull Island might be the one. Which at first I had no interest, but then I'm like, man, but he is fighting fucking dinosaurs, isn't he? And then I was like, all right, I can do this. And man, John C. Riley, just I'm telling you that he's a guy. No matter he could work for another 40 years, and when he goes, we're gonna be like, man, we didn't appreciate him enough.
Yes.
Because he's like Bill Paxton. I can't think of a single bad performance from him that I've seen. I mean, even serious stuff, he's really good too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can think of things he's been in that I didn't like overall, but not
Yeah.
because of him. That's kind of what I think we established.
Wait, has Solid Johnson joined us in the chat?
What?
yeah, so Iron Lust post.
Oh, wait. Hey.
BJ, get in here.
Is this solid?
It's not. I'm not doing this.
What?
It's not me.
Oh. Yeah, Skull Island is getting good reviews. A few people I know that I trust their opinions kind of hated it. So I have, yeah. But they also, and they're a bit pretentious sometimes. So it might be a little bit of that, like, oh, Hollywood has swallowed up another indie filmmaker and big budget bullshit. You know.
Wait, who's doing this Kong Island thing?
People I know on Letterboxd.
No, I mean, who's directing it? Like
the guy who made Kings of Summer, or what was the name of it? God damn it! No, I can't remember. It came out like 4 years ago. It was
all right.
Like 500 Days of Summer?
No. I believe it was the Kings
Mark
of
Webb,
Summer. I never
Spider-Man.
saw it. Let me double check. I got to make sure here. But it was it was the Kings of Summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which again is one of those movies a lot of people like. But it just seems like it's become a big trend where it's like, well, we can hire the What We Do in the Shadows guy to make Thor 3.
Yeah.
Which appears to be a great idea because that looks awesome.
Yes.
I mean,
But, there's a lot of people, like all the Jurassic World haters are just like, why did they hire the Safety Not Guaranteed guy to do this?
Whatever.
So what?
Director's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's the thing is like, if you're not suited for a big budget movie, hopefully you can bounce back. And if you want to do it. And some people do it well. Some people don't. Like,
Fantastic Four guy.
well, yeah, like that, or like, I hate to say it, but like, I don't want Duncan Jones to get stuck on Warcraft.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't awful, but that's not you, man. Like, I mean, that's not what we want you making. I don't.
Well, and that's the thing is they hire these people who have a fresh voice, like an interesting voice, and then they're like, all right, do it all in these confines right here, and you can't deviate much from it. Especially more so with Marvel,
Yeah.
Then.
But I mean, there's a lot of pretentious people. I mean, like, look, I think Logan is. I mean, I'm about to talk about it, but Logan's a really good movie. But I swear there were audible groans and sighs when the Fast 8 trailer came on in the theater, and I was like, "Fuck you, people! Fuck all y'all!"
Yeah.
How could anyone in that movie be like, fuck the Fast and Furious? I mean,
Because they are. I know. Well, I mean, it's doubly dumb because how many X-Men we're up to? X-Men.
75.
This is the
Ninth,
10th
yeah.
X franchise movie.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in their defense, Fast 8 looks really dumb, like extra dumb.
Whatever.
More dumb than the other one's dumb.
Really? I mean, a fucking
Yeah.
submarine surfacing and whatever. I'm
Yeah.
1,000% in. I don't give a shit.
I'm
I mean, the premise is dumb.
I'm hitting the
Here's
point-
Jason Statham. He's going to work with you now. And it's
yeah,
like,
I'm hitting the point where I'm afraid it's going to be dumb and not dumb fun.
right.
That's my huge worry about that movie at this point. But I also hate the good guy's a bad guy now movies because fuck all of that.
But
like
that's-
that story I fucking
But
hate that
also,
trope.
it's because everyone.
Well, yeah, I know it's because everyone hates Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
But they have to keep him in these movies because he's the producer and all that.
Yeah.
No, I get that completely. But
Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still 100% in.
Oh, F. Gary Gray directed it. Never mind. That I'm fucking in. That dude has never made
Gary
a bad
Gray
movie.
is, yeah. That's what's keeping me like.
He did the Italian Job and The Negotiator, and
Yeah, no, I know who he is. I was thinking. I thought like second movie was not good.
I can't remember what that dude made that was
Didn't
not
he make
good.
didn't he try to make a horror movie that was really bad? Did he do Vampire in Brooklyn? No,
No,
that was
he
Wes
did.
Craven.
God, what was the? Fuck, Gerard Butler's the.
Law Abiding
the criminal-
Citizen.
Yes,
That movie's not bad either.
No, it's
He
not.
did Be Cool. That's probably like the low point because that's not the greatest.
Yeah.
Friday, Set It Off, The Negotiator.
I thought he jumped into the horror genre for a minute.
Nope. Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think looking at
Oh,
this.
I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of the dude that made Fear of a Black Hat. Made that.
Oh, Rusty
shitty,
Cundiff.
Yeah, made the Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood,
which
yeah.
is shit.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah, no, Be Cool is the low point of his. But he's worked with The Rock before, so he should.
Yeah, and Get Shorty is one of those movies that I should love everything about it, but that movie does not click with me.
It's
at
got John
all.
Travolta. I think that's your
I know.
fucking
Well,
kryptonite.
even aside from him, like the rest of it, just nothing clicks the way it feels like it should.
Oh, I don't know. I love Get Shorty. I mean, I would like Be Cool, and it's. I mean, I know it's way below, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing to me is like the Elmore Leonard, Dave Barry worlds. Even a substandard movie is better. It's more fun to me than most other movies.
Get Shorty just seemed like that, like the most crowd pleasing Elmore Leonard thing, where it was just like, this is for the people, you know. It's like when we were getting like Jackie Brown and Out of Sight and stuff like that. It was like, oh, these are the cool movies, and then it was like Get Shorty is like that's the safe movie. That movie's all right, but that's for your parents.
All right, I feel
As I remember it.
I feel that way about Jackie Brown. I feel like Jackie Brown is I'm not right in those series.
Jackie Brown's
You're
so
not
good.
right. You're wrong about that.
Jackie Brown's so good.
I like Jackie Brown's the one that gets better every time I watch it.
It has grown on me every single time that
Because the first time I was like, I don't think I like this, but
Ever
every time
since
I've
then.
seen it since,
I own it on
so
Blu-ray.
good.
I'm just saying, Out of Sight is the best one. Then I think Get Shorty, and then I think Jackie Brown. That's that time period.
Yeah.
I know they've made other ones, but
anyway, anybody got movies?
yeah,
I have one.
I've got Dose.
Okay, yours would be the newest, of course.
Of course.
Anybody else?
Bang.
That's my buddy right there.
So Chuck, you got nothing.
Nothing I could talk about.
You can talk about
Ooh.
what'll be available on Saturday.
Yeah, you could
I
do
might
that.
mention that.
Okay.
It's too much. I think I've got
You all right?
I think I got the meat.
Heart
I got
attack.
the meat sweats a little bit here.
And that BBQ.
Yeah.
You're a lightweight on the meat sweats these days, my friend.
It took a while for it to kick in. It could be actual sweats started kicking in now.
Post.
No meat required. Just sweats.
I got the sweats. What brings it on? Heat.
That's me, man. I don't know how I ended up in Florida. I really don't, because like I have all that northern blood
Yep.
where like, walk to the mailbox and come back like just fucking sopping
You're
wet.
just finished when you come
yeah,
back.
yeah. Like I should be one of those dudes walking
you're
around with a
finished.
towel on his shoulder all the time. Just be like, man, it's fucking hot out here.
Hot enough for you?
How about that heat? Gonna be a hot one today.
Why do we live here? Am I right? Anyway, see you later.
That would be me.
Yeah, like everyone that
walking-
lived in that fucking town, like, oh, this fucking place.
Yeah, maybe it was just the heat and they were out of towels. So they just all had to
Fucking
leave.
desert. You don't need a towel in the desert. Seriously. I guess you guys haven't spent enough time in like the Vegas to Arizona area. Like 7% humidity is fucking ridiculous.
Hey, okay, no, come here. Oh,
Whoop.
she was She's trying to yank the headphone cord out.
Yeah.
It's not cool, cat.
Not cool, cat.
All right. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Second half.
Yeah.
Second
Half number 2, where we talk about movies that have come out lately.
How about real lately?
How real lately?
How late?
Well, I guess I'm a little. When did it come out? Did it come out last Friday?
Yeah, last Friday.
Oh shit.
Shit.
It's been a weird week.
That movie just came out.
Yeah, I saw Logan.
Oh, Logan.
I'm going to talk about Logan.
Logan.
So, I'm trying to think of what I could say that won't be spoilery. I guess the best way to talk about Logan is try to set expectations, because I feel like a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about this movie, and I will be among them. And I'm going to, because, whenever you have a movie, especially comic book movies that come out and are generally universally praised, it seems the more praised they are, the faster people are apt to, all right, there's the problems, I don't like it because of that. Mm-hmm. Blanket, like, that sucks, you're all wrong. So I will state it like this. I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk about the X-Men movies and the entire franchise that I think are the good ones. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty easy. X-Men 2 is the only good one of the original 3. And it's not awesome. It's real good because it kind of finally starts to give you what you want out of the X-Men movies. But in hindsight, It's not great.
The bar got raised a lot higher than
yeah,
that as time went on.
Exactly. But other than that, you throw away the first three for the most part. Then X-Men Origins Wolverine sucks. There's pretty much nothing good about that.
The montage that opens it is the only good part of that movie.
Yeah. And then, I think we talked about it before. I like X-Men First Class best of all. I think it's the best of every Well, no, I'm not going to go that far. I think it's. We've said I think X-Men First Class is like 90% perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say.
It's unfortunate that the 10% is pretty fucking awful. And that includes horrible last-minute Beast makeup and January Jones. So, Days of Future Past is pretty cool. It's nerdy as fuck. So, like, if you're not wholly in on the X-Men stuff by the time that comes out, you've probably checked out of it as soon as it starts. And Apocalypse is even more so. Like, Apocalypse is like one of the nerdiest fucking things ever put to film because you have to be, all right, let's see a fucking comic book movie, and it's goofy and all of that. So, all I've left off is Deadpool, which I fucking adore. And I was afraid when Logan started that they saw Deadpool and were like, obviously saying fuck is what made Deadpool good, because the first 10 lines of Logan's dialogue in the movie all contain some variation of the word fuck. And it was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, you misunderstood what makes an R-rated movie good, didn't you? Like, what happened here? Thankfully, it immediately kind of picks up from there. Like, when the movie opens and you kind of start to realize what's happening, it becomes a much better movie. Now, I will set up some expectations. There is one conceit that I think was mildly dropped into Deadpool that is now fully realized in Logan, that I understand certain people will see this movie and that will be the thing that they turn on. I don't know if it's a little spoilery, but not like critical plot spoilery. So anyone in the room, I'm taking the temperature whether I should say it or not, because it ultimately kind of sort of drives the plot of the movie, but it's also a little inconsequential. My point being is, like, it's critical enough that it's like, here's a leap to something, but you're going to kind of have to accept it, and certain people will latch onto that as being the thing that makes Logan an overall bad movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't even get into it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And like I said, I guarantee you, if I don't say it now, it'll be the first thing people start bitching about as what's wrong with Logan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can get past that and you can accept that this is the world that we live in this world, I think Logan is a fantastic movie. Oh, I did skip one in talking about him. I did not talk about the Wolverine. And that's actually probably the most important one to talk about because it's the other solo Wolverine movie and it's the same director as this one. Most people, by and large, really do not like the Wolverine.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
I don't get that at all. I think the Wolverine is pretty damn fantastic, and my only beef with that entire movie would be the very end, where it kind of becomes the Marvel, we need to have them fight a big bad thing that's generally CG.
Right.
That's the only point of that movie to me that is, it slightly goes off the rails.
Yeah, basically once he goes into that factory at the end.
Right. So, that being said, that might may cloud your judgment, because if you didn't like the Wolverine, some of the DNA is obviously still there with James Mangold being back. I just don't get it. Like, if you've turned on, you've had 9 movies, so if you've turned on the X franchise, nothing's probably going to bring you back. But know that you're going to get a rated R Wolverine movie, and that means you get to see Wolverine do all the things you've always thought Wolverine should probably do, with the abilities and powers and
kill
weapons
people with his claws
that he has. That means there'll be some semi-awkward swearing. And what you probably, well, I'm sure you've heard, but I'm going to go ahead and reiterate, what you're not going to be prepared for is the fucking emotional roller coaster that this movie is. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I threw it out on Twitter as soon as I came out of the theater. I don't think it dawned on me. I was like, I don't think I've ever gone to an XD theater and broke down in tears. Like, those two things don't seem like they go together, because I don't think XD, IMAX, all that was a thing when, like, Return of the King came out. And I know people love to make fun of the 27 endings of Return of the King now, but god damn it, when he says you bow to no man, I fucking lose it every time. You know, that is like the sum up of everything about that fucking movie that is great. However, so like that being said, like spectacle movies are not a thing to bring emotions to my face. But like in a giant like theater where it's like the opening sequence is like, here we're going to fuck your ear holes with sound and 12.1 digital bung shakers, you know? Yeah. And then like at the end of it, I am like, oh god, the movie is over and I am openly crying. I have to walk out of this theater now. Well, just fuck yeah.
Leave those 3D glasses on.
No 3D. I didn't do 3D.
Yeah, at least they were kind enough not to put a scene after the credits.
Oh, that's
so
not,
everyone left.
That's not kind. Sitting through the credits would have given me time to compose
that's
myself.
what I
The
mean.
buffer that you needed.
No, you sit through the credits while everyone else leaves, and then you can leave.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I just got up and was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I have emotions.
You're a man.
I don't give a shit. I have emotions.
So, I mean, that's the thing that's probably going to hit people the hardest, you know, unless you've completely checked out. But I think Logan is fantastic. I think in some ways, and I mean, I know the haters are going to find that thing that they don't like about it and immediately turn on it, but this feels like the first comic book movie that may actually change the genre. Like, it may elevate it, change it, and just take it. Like,
well,
it's elevating it beyond the superhero genre at this point.
Yeah, and I think that and Deadpool have the luxury of coming after dozens of comic book movies where you've established the formula, and it is much like comic books. A lot of the stories most people remember are these side stories that are just like, yeah, these are set in a superhero universe, but we're doing this other thing that's not, you know, dudes in capes punching each other and shooting laser beams out their eyes and stuff.
Right.
You know, like they're allowed to tell these other stories, and that's, you know, where comic books got to eventually, and clearly they're getting there with the movies where they're like, we can do these other things that aren't all action and the world's about to end, and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there are stakes, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't care about a movie, but I mean, they're mostly ultra personal stakes. And it never at any point is like, no, it's now suddenly it was all personal until now it's the end of the world. This movie doesn't do that. And I mean, to be fair, Deadpool doesn't really either. Deadpool's 100% personal stakes too.
Yep.
And I think that's why the two work. And so good on you. You did copy the right things. Unfortunately, like I said, the first scene, it was like, oh, you copied the wrong thing about this. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think it deserves all the praise that it's getting.
Cool.
Yeah, I just hope they can make a truly good Team X-Man movie at some point, because I continue to feel like they haven't quite gotten them yet. Like, they haven't gotten it right.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing.
Even though I like the movies, I still like they never quite feel like X-Men to me, as someone who's read 40 years worth of them.
Yeah, like First Class nails it as a movie for the most part, but that's about Professor X and Magneto. It's not.
They're all about Professor X and Magneto.
Right.
All of them.
I mean, the thing. All right, here's the weird thing is, First Class had the opportunity, because I don't understand why we can't just get the core original X-Men in a simple movie with like 6 characters. Like, that's all you need. Like, you know, like, why does that, like, it feels like by the time they've assembled a team, they've brought in 12 other people you don't give a shit about.
Yeah, and the movie doesn't give a shit about either. It's like they're there, but not.
I mean,
really.
They had the chance to reboot it, and they didn't do it right.
You could do original. I don't care. Like, bring in, you know, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. You know, like, you know, if you want to truly reboot it, there's your team right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, then, you know, if you want, go with giant size X-Men, Wolverine, Nightcrawler.
I mean, it seems like after Apocalypse is now they are set up and can finally do that. But it's surprising that it took 3 movies to get to a point where they're like, okay, now maybe we can have just our simple ass X-Men movie, because they've been trapped in their weird time thing that they've been doing.
This gives me hope. Like, maybe we'll get more solo X-Men movies. I think solo X-Men movies with like 1 or 2 like key characters showing up is the way to go.
I wish they hadn't given up on that. I mean, I know Origins Wolverine really screwed the pooch on that, but I wish they had given it one more shot.
Well, I mean, the one they announced after that just didn't make any sense. I mean, it was like the two, they were like, all right, we're doing these X-Men Origins single one-off character things, and they're like, we're starting Wolverine, and then we're doing Magneto. I'm like,
You already gave us their
I was
origins.
like,
in both
you
fucking
you
movies.
just pick the two characters that we know the most about
Right.
their story.
Yeah. Pick one that we don't.
You know, like, let's see Jean Grey origins. Like, I mean, yeah,
I mean, hell, even Storm. I mean, that's
yeah, like
a cool looking character that you really haven't never given that much
let's see,
information
like,
about.
let's see more about her, you know, being a pickpocket and you know, running around and getting saved by, or trying to pick Professor X's, you know, pocket. That'd be awesome. Like, I'd watch that story. You know, if they go with the original origin of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, Storm has always sucked in the movies.
Yes.
They have yet to do Storm right.
Right.
And Storm's like,
I liked her all right in Apocalypse.
Yes, Apocalypse was as close to cool and like this is all right, even though I know it's not even remotely close to what the origin story is supposed to be. But
no, it's just Storm in the comics is just, she's fucking awesome. And in the movies, she's always kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Especially like the Halle Berry was like, fuck everything about that version of her.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the Alexander Shipp one, I like better, but it's still not.
Well,
Right.
it obviously messes with the origin when it's like, hey, I think I have powers. Oh, and I'm also being recruited to be one of the four horsemen.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because I mean, her origin is more like she is worshipped as this goddess and doesn't quite know how to handle that, and then eventually, you know, is able to embrace it and be awesome. But
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, you're either in. I mean, I'm afraid that if you haven't taken the X-Men journey all the way, Logan will not have the same emotional impact. You'll probably be like, "What the hell are you crying about?" Like, you know, kind of thing. Like, but I feel like this is literally almost a 20-year journey at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, longer if you've been reading X-Men any part of your life. You know, if you count that time. But I mean, yeah, the first movie was 98, 99, somewhere around
2000.
2000? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming up on a 20-year journey.
Yeah. And he is the one character in all of them.
Yeah, he does show up in all.
He has shown up. I think,
All
in
of them.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Except Deadpool. That's
Yeah,
the
I
only
mean,
one.
Right, which
sort of.
where it would have made the most sense for him to be in, but
Well, I mean, but they made multiple references and
Yeah.
jokes about him.
Yeah.
And there was a Hugh Jackman mask.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's really good. So I have one more new movie, but
I have another Marvel movie.
Oh, okay, please, yes.
Yeah.
Break it up.
I watched Doctor Strange.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the Stranger.
Yeah. Little tame and strange.
I think it's Steven. I think it's pronounced Steven.
Oh,
yeah.
it's like Dr. Stephen Strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, that one that one's weird because it's like they're using, you know, they're doing the Iron Man formula of cocky prick gets taken down a notch and then has to basically save the world at some point. But man, they go super trippy with a lot of stuff that looks super cool. You know, I mean, visually this is pretty friggin' great looking, but it's just interesting to me that by the time he's finally a good guy, because he's kind of still a prick throughout the majority of the movie, but by the time they get to the end, I mean, he literally annoys the big bad into leaving the Earth alone.
He just annoys him into it.
It makes sense when you're watching it in the movie, but it is literally like,
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. I know you are, but what
Fine.
am I?
and he's basically like, we can just keep doing this, or you can just leave the Earth alone. And like, and somebody, I think Jens told me, he's like, that's the most Doctor Who thing about it, is it's almost like it's a Doctor Who way of saving the world at the end. But you know, it's got Mads Mikkelsen. It's got all right, Chitue Ejiofor. Is it?
Oh, BJ knows this.
I never know how to Chiwetel.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, he's great, and I like that he's Mordo, who's generally known as a bad guy, and he's not in this. He's one of the good guys.
Oh.
So it's an interesting take on that character. But
Yeah, you got that lady from the keyboard, Tilda Swinton.
Jesus Christ.
Like the keyboard.
Yeah, she's usually over the end.
yeah. But yeah, Tilda Swinton, she's another one who's it's like
Man,
she's I don't think she's ever had a bad performance, or well, I think she's had bad performances, but I never fault her for going for it whenever she's in something.
No, because she does.
Yeah.
Man, there's 3 people with severe looks in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
Bendy Switch, Cumby Snatch,
Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen, and Tilda Swinton. Man,
They're radical looking people.
That's some, those are some faces,
Yes.
man.
And Mads is great looking too.
Yeah.
Like he's really cool in this. I wish there's Scott Adkins is one of his henchmen who's like a super great fighter. Like
I know he's the guy who's in every direct-to-video action movie. Everyone's
Yeah.
like Scott Adkins. I'm like, country singer. Who?
And they they film that shit poorly.
Do they?
It's really a bummer that he has a big fight scene and they just don't do it any justice. But
Yeah, I find it mildly weird of the outcry about the whitewashing of the Master's character with Tilda Swinton. But to me, it's like, if I'm not necessarily condoning or whatever that, but I mean, Tilda Swinton has always been this like.
yeah, she has this otherworldly thing
chameleon
about her.
person.
Yeah, I mean, she, like androgynous doesn't even begin to cover it.
No,
It's-
otherworldly.
Yeah, it's
She
just,
feels like an alien.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's like, I think they did
Well-
that because it's like she transcends man, woman, and race. It's just she's like this thing.
She's all
Yeah,
races,
and-
all genders.
Yeah.
And they want, and the director Scott Derrickson has talked about it that he didn't want he wanted to cast a woman, but he didn't want to cast an Asian woman because she's so powerful. She'd just be this geek boy wank fantasy thing. Like he literally put it in those terms where he's like, no, I didn't want everyone lusting after this character. So, and and they wrote it for Tilda Swinton.
Oh.
Because they're like, well, she's the only one that could do this. So it seems like as if she had turned it down, they might have gone with the traditional, Oriental, however you want to put it, Asian master guy, and luckily they didn't. Because I think she's one of the best parts of the movie by far.
Yeah, because I mean, like once you get there and you realize the world that they've created, in their version of it is Xanadu, right? Or no, Shangri-La. What is it?
Xanadu.
I mean, it's one of the place where they go. You just watched it. What's the name of the place?
Kathmandu.
Kathmandu. Okay, thank you. Yeah. There's several of the mystical places that anyway, but I mean, like their version of it is I kind of like what they're doing. Where it's not necessary. It is like this otherworldly thing. It's like, look, you're actually thinking too small if you're trying to make this a racial thing, because it's like, look, there are people here from different times and places and everything.
This is not where you just get to.
She just she's like action
she
rolled.
not cat?
No, she just action rolled. She like hit the ground and made it look like I dropped her on their side.
I meant to do that.
Anyway, it almost looks like you're thinking too small. Like, I mean, it almost looks like this is basically a gateway to Thor universe, where it's like, this is not just like a place in Asia. This is like a gateway to another dimension kind of thing. And it's like, man, woman, race thing doesn't really matter. It's just, this is a place where the best of whatever come here.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because like there's so many, like when it comes to comic books, all the fanboy types are just like, if it's a big muscly character, everyone's like, oh well, this wrestler would be good for it.
Right.
And it's like, you need an actor that's going to be able to play a part, not just someone who looks like that character. And I think that becomes the issue so often is you have people that cast it solely on looks. Their dream cast is always like, oh well, he looks like whoever. And you think about Tyler Mane in that first X-Men movie as Sabretooth, and it's like, fuck all of that. At least Origins, as terrible as it was, had Liev Schreiber being interesting. In it.
Yeah, you're not going to get many Dave Bautista performances out of wrestlers, casting him because of their size and look.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, he's an anomaly. I mean, like, I don't get how he's as good as.
But
that.
Fan casting always leans that way. It's like, well, this looks like this character, so they should be. Why didn't they cast them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. But it's Doctor Strange. It's pretty good. It's fun at the end, especially visually. It just goes. They're like, fuck it, man. I'd love to see some of the storyboards for the stuff they did and some of the concept art, like how they mapped out some of the shit they do in that movie. But I liked it. Yeah, it's like Marvel. Marvel has a formula that when they stick too close to it, you get a good, not great movie, but you don't get a bad movie.
Yeah.
And at this point, that's kind of, all right, I'll take that.
I mean, I've liked all of them. You know, I mean, I think the 2 Thor movies are the least of them, but I wasn't like, this sucks. I was
Yeah,
just
but they're like
this
average.
is the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're average. They're not bad.
Yeah.
Kat Dennings is bad,
Yeah.
but the movies overall.
Oh, she was all right in the first one. When it was
yeah,
just
that's
like,
true.
all right,
Okay, the
I'm-
second one she's
I'm
insufferable.
quirky, and then it was like, oh, that's funny. Let's do that, but
Yeah.
you know, way more of that.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so I saw one other movie. This one new to home video now. So I wanted to see, like, there's a lot of movies I want to see in the theater, and sometimes I get to them, and sometimes I don't. But I wanted to see Moana when it was in the theater, and because
That has The Rock in it.
it does. But I have, for the most part, been quite a fan of this new wave of Disney movies, like Disney proper movies, and I'm sure it helps in large part because John Lasseter basically became the head of their animation department, which has kind of made Pixar movies become worse. Like they're actually kind of making the ones that are like, to me,
Yeah.
here lately. But yeah, so I wanted to see it, and I did not care for Zootopia, and I mentioned that now because that's like that, and I didn't dislike it, but the 100% love for Frozen is lost on me. Like it's good, but like people went apeshit for it, and like to me, I'm like, you do realize like Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, and even Tangled are better than that, right? Like, did you see those? Like,
What's wrong with you?
yeah, but like, and again, like Zootopia just felt like this one where it was like people went all in for that, and I was like, I don't get it. It's a message that's way in your face, and anyway, I will get back to that. But Moana is to me like it's not a direct trajectory from the what I consider like our golden era of Disney with Aladdin, Lion King, Little Mermaid, all that stuff. So it's not like you have this like direct pattern like, well, it's been X number of movies, but Moana honestly feels like the Lion King of this new series. Like it is grand, it is big, it has songs because some of them do and some of them don't. So you know we're kind of back to the traditional like now we're singing a song part of the movie. But it is gorgeous and like this fairy tale, and it feels 100% timeless. Whereas Zootopia was like, I don't know, it's Snarky Fox trying to teach you about racism. You know,
Snarky Fox.
I you know, it's just Zootopia was like, I get it. I got it the first 10 minutes of this movie, and now I have to watch another hour and 40 minutes of it. You know, it's just, I get it. Yeah, I just, Moana is great, and Zootopia not so great, and I know we said we don't care about the Oscars, but it pissed me off when they gave it to fucking Zootopia, which feels to me like will be forgotten in 10 years, and if you see Moana, it's like you could watch that 50 years from now, it'll be just as good. Yeah, it's just gorgeous beginning to end, and a lot of fun, and there is a song at one point, there's a character that's voiced by holy shit, it just went out of my Jermaine Clement from the Flight of the Conchords and What We Do in the Shadows. That is just so good. I mean, I know Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the music, but like, I mean, it's just like they got the right guy to sing this song. It's so good. But yeah, I absolutely adored Moana. Like I cannot praise that one enough. I thought that it might be my new favorite one of the new batch. I mean, seriously, it's that good.
Wow.
Like I love Big Hero 6, and I loved Wreck-It Ralph, but like this is a timeless classic, a true timeless classic. So
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
I really, really, really liked it.
Cool.
So
Good deal. So you guys want some emails?
yes, please.
I do.
We even have a voicemail too.
What?
What is right, Chuck?
Okay.
Okay. First one up is from Steve, like the bird heron.
Hi, Steve.
Caw indeed. He says 8 freaking years. It says BMFcast.
Yes.
Steve, like the bird here.
Hi.
Squawk and such. I'm here to congratulate the best podcast on either side of the Mississippi on another successful year. Google tells me the traditional 8th anniversary gift is either bronze or pottery. Neither of which I can give you physically because the shipping cost is highway robbery. But here's a photo to split the difference. And he has sent us a bronze pot.
Yes.
Nice.
He sent us pot. Says, here's to 8 more years of Jocksworthy podcasting. Best wishes to everyone out in BMF land. Crash and burn, Steve, like the bird out, sent via my Apple Newton.
Sorry, we have already established there will not be a BMFcast in 8 years because
Nope.
we don't believe
'Cause
there will
the
be.
Earth-
Because I also I quit.
All right.
You can quit. We'll replace you. But
Oh, thanks.
none
Chuck.
of the rest of
Thanks
us
for
will
the
be
vote
here.
of confidence.
You're saying you're quit. I'm going, it's okay. We'll go on. You're like, fuck you.
Walt has a reminder set on his calendar as he hears this. He's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I know what I'm doing next week.
It's like, the second I hear he's out, I'm calling it.
Plus, we've started drinking. He's going to fucking love it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you guys want to feel old? Steve was 10 years old when we started.
Shut up.
this.
Shut up.
Shut up, man.
You,
But now Steve is a sweet man. Instead of being a smart child, he's a sweet man now.
Man, my body worked so much better when we started this shit.
Yes.
I could do things to it. Like,
Yeah.
punish it. Like, now it's like I get out of bed wrong. It's like, I'm fucked for 3 days.
Yeah. I can podcast without sweating.
Now
It's like, oh.
we really should have been drinking earlier in our career.
That's really,
Yes.
that's what we've
That's
learned.
the lesson.
That
is
is.
don't fuck it up next time.
So attention, new podcasters, start drinking now.
yeah. It helps. Mm-hmm. At least I think so.
helps me deal with your ass.
I agreed.
That ass.
Dealing with that ass. Oh, man.
Yeah.
We had a comment from Straight Outta Tijuana on the Amityville horror episode.
That was
yeah.
very long.
It's incredibly long. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, no. Just if you want to read that, it's on the website.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you want to know more stuff about Amityville.
Yes, it is informative and good. It is
He
just...
brings the literary aspects into the game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's worth reading.
Which one did he post that on? Which was it? The last?
I think it was the remake, like the that guy.
It was number 8. BMFcast Extra 8. The Amityville Horror Remake.
yeah,
Okay.
the Ryan Reynolds one.
Oh, wait, no, 8 was the first one.
8 was the first.
8 was the
actual,
first one, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Amityville. That was the end of summer.
Yep. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Got this one from Jay from Vegas, who says, why it pays to be a Patreon contributor.
Oh.
Oh, indeed. Says, hey, BMF crew.
Hey.
Jagus here.
Nice. Good
Nice. Jagus here, and I know there are some people listening to your show who are not yet Patreon contributors, and I wanted to tell you all how amazing my life has become since I became a contributor to your podcast.
Oh, do tell.
Before contributing to the Patreon, I only got a 90-minute episode of BMFcast once a week. More like 2 hours lately, but, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
close enough.
Sort of, mostly.
Yeah. Now I get a ton of BMFcast goodness each week thanks to Patreon. I should also note that recreational marijuana was legalized in California and Nevada in 2016. I was a Patreon contributor in both states in 2016, so clearly my patronage resulted in the legalization of weed.
Nice.
You're welcome.
In summary, subscribe or risk losing out on multiple hours of BMFcast goodness per week and legal weed. Smoke BMFcast every day. Jay-Z. Sent via smoke signal with special thanks to Snoop Dogg.
Hey.
BMFcast.
I don't know if we can take credit for the weed, but we will.
Yeah.
I'll take credit for anything you'll let me.
It always helps.
Yeah.
It might help when you listen to the show as well.
Oh, I think it would definitely help.
We only take credit if you have the original receipt.
Oh.
Right. We also have voicemail.
Oh, shit. I mean, good.
Shit.
Didn't know this ahead of time.
Sorry.
That's the shit part.
Yeah. From 812.
Stand by.
Please hold.
Let's vamp a little bit.
What?
Vamp.
We're vamping.
Vamping.
Skilly bop bop doop doop.
Vamp.
No,
Yeah.
vamping.
I remember on was it didn't Pandora have like the musical genome thing?
Yes.
Where you
Yeah.
could like look up like you've chosen this track because it's
Extensive
extensive vamping.
Yes.
Because like a Chili Peppers song came on.
I remember us
I
fucking
don't mind
talking
Chili-
about that shit.
Yeah.
Talking about throwbacks. When I was working like it was right after you left where I work now,
Yeah.
and when I moved into your old department.
Yeah.
We were talking on IM or something about our fucking
Extensive
Pandora
vamping.
stations and extensive vamping. It was holy shit. And that was only like
Yeah.
70% of the way back into time.
Yeah. And also, I prefer wet production, I was told.
Nice.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
Totally.
We can stop vamping now.
Hey, BMFcast, this is your buddy Kent in Indiana. I listened to your latest episode. You were talking about Service Buddies as a potential buddy movie, and it reminded me of the first time I saw a support group called Chemo Buddies. Yeah, I misunderstood what it was. I was thinking this is going to be the most depressing buddy movies I've ever heard. But actually, it's just a cancer support group. So that's fun. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. And, yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Wow.
Like I was equating
Me too, thanks.
like if I was equating the X-Men movies, if you've made it this far,
Yeah.
like if you've listened to us for 8 fucking years, I'm sorry, and I have terrible thoughts, and sometimes they come out of my mouth hole.
Look, I can't help if I had seen that like on a poster or something. My first thought would have been like, "Oh no," and then I would have been like, "Oh wait."
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
Look, it's partially our fault because we're terrible human beings, but when you have that many movies that always end in buddies, you kind of ruin the word buddies forever.
Yeah, the word buddies is totally
Yeah.
belongs to dogs of a certain theme at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take our fair share of blame there, but Robert Vince, you got to take a little bit too. You ruined chemo buddies.
Well, he he's done with buddies. No more buddies.
Well,
He's just making monkey movies now.
okay.
So
I imagine him walking in there and going, "Where are the dogs?"
yeah. No dogs in this one. Ah.
You look like somebody died. Jesus. I thought they were supposed to be puppies.
I just love that the Google Translate or the transcription has settled on Ben Cass as the translation
Ben
for our
Cass.
show. Like, just, hey, Ben Cass, it's like, welcome to, our book club.
Yes, our book club. So, speaking of old BMFcast stuff,
Yeah,
Chuck,
right.
you got something coming up.
I do. Starting on Saturday, the 11th of this month,
Which would be
March 11th.
officially
the actual 8th anniversary of the BMFcast.
Oh, I see what you did there.
With some synergy going on here, I will be posting the first episode of BMFcast Rewind to our Patreon, where what that show, it's a video show, and it will be me going back one by one and reviewing the episodes I was not here for. By that, I mean reviewing the movies I was not here for.
Yeah.
But then, after I do so, I will stop the video for a second. It'll only be a second. And then listen to the actual episode, and then come back and just talk about what you guys said about the movie,
Oh, great.
and see how we gel up about it. So,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you have to listen
Yeah.
to early BMFcast because that is a punishment that no one should have to endure.
What-
and those who have are saints.
It's a different experience.
What
It's-
did we fuck up? Was it Cool as Ice? Is that the Echo episode?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that one.
what we fucked up is actually like everything.
Sure. I'd say the first 80 episodes.
okay. Well, that's about when I came in.
360
I know, that's
episodes.
why I said that. 'Cause
Okay.
81 was Deathstalker, right?
Oh, well, no. As Deathstalker was 83.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. So
it
we
was
fucked up the first 82 episodes.
Wow.
Plus a Super Soldier special. Or Super Soldier special.
Super
Fine, we fucked up.
83 episodes.
There was also a Paranormal Activity one. Yeah, I know. We did some
Oh, yeah.
spoilcast.
Don't bother with spoilcast.
I'll just say listening to the first episode is very strange. And the show was very different. Very different. And I don't mean like in terms of like production quality or anything like that. I just mean in like tone.
Well, yeah, we were very sedate,
Hi.
Well,
What do you mean?
but
Not-
we were also...
Not even that. It's more, it's like, okay, we have settled on this thing of trying to find the good in everything, I think. Like this week's movie didn't pass the test, but we still try to embrace whatever goodness we can find in a movie. And listening to that first episode, it was like you guys were like, we're gonna rip this movie to shreds. Fuck this movie. Yeah, it's what you think a bad movie podcast is.
It is also what we thought a bad movie podcast
Absolutely.
was back
And
then.
I know everyone has to find their way. I get that. It was just such a odd tonal shift.
Man.
Hey,
Why did we switch it up?
No.
Because we'd be fucking huge right now.
I'm gonna-
if we just tore everything a new asshole.
I'm going to lay the cards on the table. I think it was when the first clones started coming along, and I'm saying clones because we did a little bit of looking, and there was really not anything.
There were
For like two.
Flophouse.
There was
the
like there
only
was
one that
like
existed
there was
before
several
us.
blogs. To be fair, there were several
Yeah.
like printed things, but there were not a lot of there was not a wide breadth of podcasts that there are now.
Yeah, there was Flophouse, but they focused more on, and still do, like big Hollywood blockbuster.
Sure.
Yeah.
This went wrong type stuff.
So I mean, whatever. Yeah, other things came along, and we might have made a direct parody of one of them. But I think it was like when they came along and we're doing bad movies, and then it was like, well, we're doing bad movies that are only on Netflix because like that's where we all watch. And then it was
'Cause
like,
that lasted a
and then it's like we're doing Beetlejuice, and it was just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I hate Tim Burton now as much as anybody else, but Beetlejuice is not one of his bad ones.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like there's times I feel like we should change our mission statement somewhat. You know, I kind of wish we hadn't been named Bad Movie Fiend, like it'd been B Movie Fiend or something like that. But
Sure.
it works now, and
we
got it. But
I honestly thought
but
of
I
it more
think-
as like, I mean, yes, bad movies, but I
Yeah.
also thought it was like
We
bad
want to
movies.
ingest them.
Like bad, like good, like
Oh.
rad, bad.
Rad Bad. The Rad Bad
good
movie
bad movies,
friends.
as in
yeah, but
Robot Child.
But I think so many of them, and some that have vanished now, kind of lost their way as far as like they didn't stick with reviewing bad movies.
Yeah.
They're like, well,
Lost your way, child.
yeah, we really want to talk about RoboCop, and it's like, dude, RoboCop is legitimately like on almost every level a 5-star movie.
Yes.
Like it may be a genre pick, and it may have like crazy violence, but that's a super like just like Total Recall, super smart, well made, damn good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me the rule was like you cannot do anything that Criterion ever put out, with the exception of when they were like, hey, let's do a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
2 Michael Bay
Yeah,
movies.
I mean, it was like, all right, now you're getting questionable Criterion, but I mean, like, there's at least one RoboCop Criterion collection. It's like, yeah, because it's a real fucking film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shocking to me, having not listened to the earliest episodes, to listen to this and just be like, oh, you guys are going for it. Like, you hated this, and everyone is going to know how much.
We did really hate Wicker Man.
Yes, you
We'd
did.
also had talked about it twice.
I know.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of residual anger
Yes.
from having to do that again.
You didn't seem that mad. I wasn't picking up. It seemed like you guys were finding good detours to take. That
Well,
weren't
the good
just
thing, the
repeating
good
of
thing
jokes.
is we had ample amount of time back in those days.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just days and days.
Christ.
Because I think this was 2 days after you guys had watched the movie, is what you said during the show. So you'd watched the movie and just fucked off somewhere else, and then
Well, no, that's
no,
because
we
we
were-
realized that the episode was fucked.
oh okay.
Yeah, we had like 5 minutes of recording.
Okay.
Basically, our test recording from the start.
Oh
Yeah, it was
And
totally
then,
backwards.
Yeah, when Harlow hit record, he actually hit stop.
It was basically like
It was the old mixer we had too, where it was like very finicky.
yeah,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
obtuse.
okay. So, but anyway, that's going to go up on Saturday on the Patreon. That's at the $5 level. That's going to be like BMFcast Extra is going to be like a timed exclusive. So it'll be up there for, haven't decided, a month or two, and then we'll move over to YouTube at some point. So that may be tricky depending on how I'm doing this because of the footage. So what I will say, and this is not a gimmick, this is not me trying to put some dumb spin on it and make it seem like super nifty exclusive or anything, but the version that's going to go up on Patreon will basically be the version I want it to be. Going over to YouTube, I don't know what's going to happen because that shit gets wrecked by copyright. So privately on YouTube for, just a handful of people, it's not going to be affected. So that will be like the purest form of the video. So I'm just saying, if you want to see something that I made that's like, pure.
the purest,
Exactly.
pure uncut
Yes.
Chuck.
The director's cut of all of this. You want to be on the Patreon. But that's not, trust me, that's not me like trying to hype up some bullshit thing. That's just a statement of fact.
Why don't you just put it on Vimeo? I'm just fucking with you. Vimeo's
no one,
garbage.
no one goes to Vimeo unless you're a music video with nudity in it.
Why don't you be a music video with nudity in it?
Yeah, what he said.
I don't know where to get nudity.
Dude, just take your own pants off. You can have
I don't know if
nudity
you're
right there.
I don't
No.
know where, but beneath right right near you is nudity.
Oh, just below the surface.
Always
Betwixt your
available.
very own legs is nudity ready to spring forth.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Twixt. It's like, common caramel and peanut butter.
Yes.
Other flavors.
You just break them apart.
No, don't break them apart. No.
But yeah, I look forward to Chuck doing this just because I look forward to hearing him listening to these old episodes.
Yeah, I enjoyed his brief commentary today in our Slack chat on some of our...
I look forward to you listening to my rant on Southland Tales by the end of that episode.
Yes.
Where I literally blackball myself from Hollywood.
I had to stop. I was going to go down a road of throwing your quotes at you in the Slack chat today, but after the first one, I realized that everyone was going to get a little testy if I did that. Because, like, one of the first things you said, Mackie, was, I hate Nicolas Cage and everything he's ever done.
Everything but The Rock.
But that's you said everything except Raising Arizona.
Oh, I did say, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So The Rock never came up in the conversation. Like, everyone was just like, yeah, fuck Nick Cage. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't know how. The Rock's awesome, but...
Oh, no, please. I mean, you can private chat me any quotes you want because I won't fucking remember them.
Well,
I won't either.
I wasn't doing it with any kind of malice or anything, or like, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. It was just interesting to hear.
Go ahead.
Quotes from 8 years ago.
We find those funny because, like,
Make sure to attribute them to
Absolutely.
the correct
as we've
person.
said, we don't even remember what we said in the first half of this episode.
Yeah,
So,
what movie did we do? I don't know.
so yeah, trying to bring back shit from 8 years ago. Forget
What's
it.
the what's the
terminal
lead time on the timed exclusivity? Like, how long is it going to be before it goes?
Probably a month, maybe 2. Just depends on what kind of reception it gets. I'd like it to be a special thing for as long as possible. But I think maybe with the whole, like, one version may be different than the other, it might only be a month. Because that's what BMFcast Extra is. It's a month. So.
Yeah.
And then you put it out there for the masses, and then we get advertising.
Yeah. So are you going to do the movie they covered in that Cinescrote episode?
I don't know. I kind of disagree with those guys a bit.
Well, they're all dead now, so don't worry.
Yeah, that doesn't really do anybody any good because they're not around to hear my rebuttal.
Good point.
Well, we did have that brief prequel visit from them, but that was archival footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was odd.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
That was an odd occasion.
Who knows where that went?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's what's coming.
Yeah, patreon.com/BMFcast.
Mm-hmm.
$5 level, get some good shit.
Yeah, man, there's some hot content getting cranked out. There is so we got Doctor Who U.
Yep.
We have Good News Everyone, which I still cannot believe that's not
I know.
a Futurama podcast. That's so
I
good.
know. I should put something on iTunes just to claim it.
Yeah. Right.
So some other fuck doesn't get it.
Right. We're doing
some copycat motherfucker
that's what all the other podcasts
stepping in my spotlight.
all the other bad movie podcasts are copycat motherfucker in my head canon.
Yep.
So, okay, Doctor Who U, Good News Everyone, Fun Time Torpedoes, BMFcast Extra, Bonus Bullshit, and BMFcast Rewind. Those are all the shows, all the additional shows. That's like 75. I don't have enough fingers to
when
count
we
them
have
all.
to go, is this day open for posting something?
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. There's one more thing. At the $1 level,
But wait, there's more.
we decided that all the old episodes of No Pretense of Cool didn't have a home. So we were like, well, we got to put them somewhere. Let's throw them up there at the $1 level, and people can enjoy those. So you're going to get 10 old podcasts over the next few months.
Yep.
But they're kind of relevant because, like, there's a Star Trek episode and there's a Doctor Who episode. So you're going to kind of get our origin stories of...
Yeah. I think there's a couple 24
Two.
episodes.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
we did Redemption or whatever it was.
2 wrestling
Yeah,
episodes.
Redemption's a new thing. What is it? No, that was the last season.
Yeah, Redemption was the last Jack
thought it
Bauer
was-
season. Now it's Legacy.
No, Live Another Day.
Yeah, Live Another Day was the last.
Oh,
Jack Bauer.
okay.
Redemption was the 2-hour movie.
That's
they
the
did.
movie. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and there's a board game episode where BJ was here.
I was here. Yeah.
You can listen to me talk about 24 and forget all the people that died.
Yeah. Yes.
I needed Jim Carroll's recap of 24 before I started talking about it.
Exactly. Like, what happened to that? That person died. Arlo.
Oh,
What?
shit. Well, that's what happens when you watch 10 seasons in
Yeah.
like 4 weeks.
Yes. So, yeah. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt, but that's another
Yeah.
No, thank you for
hot piece of content.
Yeah, reminding me that it's that other hot content was there. And then the other thing is I am doing a weekly stream, which I immediately regretted this Monday night. But Monday nights at 9 p.m., and this is not Patreon content locked. Basically because I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I still wanted to stream for you guys. The poll is, but I'm getting there. 9 p.m., I'm streaming every Monday night, 9 p.m., twitch.tv/noquartersnet. I am streaming some gameplay, and every month I put up a poll for our Patreon patrons.
Yeah, you do.
At the at the $1 level and above, I'll give you some games to choose from. Whatever wins in the poll, that's the game that I'll play for that month. And I may do some other streaming on some other days, but 9 p.m. Eastern on Mondays is guaranteed for 2 hours or more if I feel frisky.
You did a good 3 hours this Monday.
I did 3.5 hours, and I hated every second of it. What I'm playing right now, if you want to go watch me suffer, I'm playing Bloodborne, and it is a pain in my dick.
At least it's archived on YouTube forever.
It is. But that's not going to stop me from playing it. I have committed to it, so that is my deal. I will commit to playing it, and I will play absolutely at least 2 hours every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/noquartersnet.
That's awesome.
So
that's a lot of content.
Yeah.
It's a fucking lot of content, yeah.
Speaking of a lot of content, I don't know. No, we
Go
are
on.
The clearinghouse for our content in general is
BMFcast.com.
right.
But I was going to say that we were kind of like doing a little bit of math about all of our episodes. Like we kind of get sentimental when it comes to like anniversaries and stuff. And we're like, I wonder like if you just take all of our sound files together, what's the time? 21 and a half days?
Yes.
And that's just BMFcast Prime?
It's like 21 days, 22 hours, and something.
Oh, so you might as well say 22
It's
days.
21.8 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically 22 straight days of content, and that's just BMFcast Prime. That's not counting the extras and the
Well, there are
Patreons
the extras we've released to the public were
Okay.
in that list.
Okay.
As were the spoiler casts and Cinescroot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's some other guys.
But yeah, that does not count No Quarters, doesn't count NPOC, doesn't count any of the Patreon exclusive shit.
Just saying, I was throwing
It's
that number out there. It's fucking weird when you start to realize things like that.
Yeah, that you could hit play on episode 1,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't reach present day for another 3 weeks.
I think if you took everything, you might be.
And by then you'd have 6 more hours.
Yeah, I think we need to get at least up to 2 fortnights of content.
Yes.
We might already be there,
And then we can quit.
We're at a fortnight and a half, right?
Yeah. So
at least.
double fortnights.
Yeah.
And then we're
All
out.
the way across the sky.
Yes. Yeah, or I mean, you could look at it like, this was episode 366. So basically, you could
We have a
listen to
leap year's worth of
Yeah.
podcasts.
Oh, just pick your leap year and listen to one show a day. Man,
Well, you're gonna have to wait a while. We just had a leap year.
that's true.
Yep.
So
You can have your own leap year. Your own
just
BMF
do it yourself.
leap year.
Just fuck the calendar.
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck that
Use the
calendar.
one that has Smarch on it.
But I feel like we're giving you your money's worth, especially if you're not a subscriber.
Yeah.
You're getting your extra money's worth.
Yeah,
But
I believe that's true. Man, the Library of Congress is going to have a tough time archiving all this stuff. So many hours.
I think this is the dumbest thing, but I thought about this too. I've thought about if I lose my voice Roger Ebert style, they'll be able to reconstruct it from fucking
All the hours of
3 weeks worth of me babbling bullshit.
Yeah.
But I've also thought about like in the future when every movie is destroyed and there are no streaming services and all anyone has left is the Book of Eli iPod with a bunch of podcasts on it. Our podcasts are going to be the record of all these movies
Yes!
that no longer exist.
Oh, we should write that movie. That'll be our dumb self-aggrandizing.
All it'll be like somebody picking up the iPod, plugging in their headphones into it, hitting play on the first BMF cast, and then the next cut is to that fucking iPod sailing into the Grand Canyon.
I mean, look, if like, let's say,
Fuck you!
let's say a fictional like large sum of money landed on us today. How awesome would it be to make that movie / Be Kind Rewind, but more fun?
Yeah.
Where someone is listening to our recounts of the movies,
Oh, God.
and they're going
Oh,
into
man.
a fucking
Oh.
flight of fancy of what they imagine that movie actually is.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
like in Apocalypse
Yes.
Future, they are listening to us describe the movie, and it is playing out in their head.
Man. Wow.
I bet some movies get so much
Look,
better. Like,
look. I mean,
Yeah.
I want you to understand. I realize how fucking pretentious that is. That would
Oh,
be the
yeah.
plot of our movie. I'm saying like
It's our
we have
anniversary.
fuck you money, and it's like we're making our own money. I don't give a fuck if anybody else watches it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's a student film-ish sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying like I want these things like big budget like it is like I'm living in a hovel in dirt with an iPod somehow, and then it's like fucking big budget like robot jocks with money. You know, like when we're describing robot
Oh
jocks.
man, robot jocks with money. Holy shit.
I.e. Pacific Rim.
Ah,
yeah, I
all
mean,
right. Yeah,
I'm saying
boy.
like
Man.
big budget like
Like,
they,
our version of Top Cop sounded amazing.
Oh, it's so much better than that actual fucking movie.
Oh my god, it sounded so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
just saying that'd be fun to make. Fictional money that
Totally with
lands on us somehow.
Totally with you. That would be.
So
I don't want fictional money to land on us.
I'm
I
just
want
saying,
real
like,
money to
if
land.
you're like that billionaire out there that's been listening to us for all these fortnights or whatever
Yeah.
we've been doing this, and
Chip
you're like,
into our Patreon.
I'm just saying, like,
At the $1 million level.
No, contact us because the fees on that would be ridiculous.
yeah.
We will
give you a
fly,
better-
we
better
will
rate.
fly to you,
Yeah.
and to collect money.
Just briefcase it. You know.
All four of us will come to you
Yeah.
to collect that kind of money.
Absolutely, we will pitch you this movie. We will give you a spec script on the plane ride
It'll be
there.
a fun meet and greet. We'll sign a shirt.
Sign a shirt.
Here you go.
Thanks for the $1 billion.
In exchange for $1 billion.
Here's a shirt.
Here's a free T-shirt.
I donated
some buttons.
I
And some
donated
buttons.
$1 billion to the podcast, and all I got was this. Well,
you're
arguably
an-
pretty cool.
I hope
T-shirt.
you're an extra large.
Or an adult small, because that's all we have left.
You're either Richie Rich or like I don't know, Mayor McCheese with all the fucking hamburgers.
You could maybe sew it up and make it a pillow. I don't know.
How did Mayor McCheese put on a T-shirt? Did
From
he
the bottom
only-
up, from
did
the
he
bottom
only
up.
Wear,
He stepped into
he
it.
only wear button-ups?
He did. To be fair, he always had like a jacket
Yeah.
and button-up shirts. But
Yeah.
so I guess Mayor McCheese's T-shirt would be a cruel joke.
We gotta.
He just sits there looking at you with disdain.
Just one tear, just one ketchup tear rolls down his face.
He's like, what the fuck you give me this for? I run an entire city, and this is the thanks I get. All right.
All right, we've gotten loopy. So yeah, BMFcast.com. All the other contact shit is there.
Yep.
Yeah, all
That's all
that
you need.
shit.
Yeah, 9105 Jocks BMF, 910556 9263.
Yep.
That's on there too.
At BMFcast.
Yes. Everywhere.
/ BMFcast. The other places.
All right.
No, let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is Bam.
Ah!
900,000 episodes, and I fucked that up. And this is BMFcast out. Bye, motherfucker.
And this is BMFcast out.
Here's to another 8 years.
No. I mean, yes.
Yes.
We'll see.
Here's that billionaire that's secretly been listening to us all along. We have great expectations that you will help us.
Oh, man. Here's your free T-shirt.
Mayor McCheese.
Signed it for you.
I forget what I was doing. What was I?
I don't know.
Oh, someone asked me, was like, how do you guys do that? Do your sign off? Like, rattle your names off so fast? And I'm like,
What?
like when we sign off, I'm Harlow, I'm Mackie, I'm BJ, I'm Chuck, and this is BMFcast out.
Uh-huh.
But it was for no quarters. So surprising that they heard me on an episode. But I was like, yeah, we've been doing this for like 8 years.
Also, the secret is if you watch the live stream,
We're in it goes around the table and we sit in the same room.
yeah, while I'm divulging secrets, like everyone's kind of secretly the host of one of the shows, right? Like unofficially, like I more or less am the quote unquote host for BMFcast.
Yes.
Mackie's more or less quote unquote the host for No Quarters. Have anyone ever noticed this?
I knew that.
I'm just saying, like
I know.
we just did that. We passed it around. We're like, all right, you speak, you intro this, and all that bullshit.
All that bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's only, I mean, there's only 2 main shows, so there's only really, you are the real
Yeah,
MVPs.
Chuck had NPOC, and then
Right.
NPOC went away.
And Puck just basically.
But he also does BMFcast Extra now too.
Yeah.
I let him intro it and all that.
I've literally almost introduced
There you go.
guest extra, but saying welcome to No Pretense of Cool. So.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, it's.
And I am the Twitch host, so there's that.
I thought you did something where you introed it all. I mean, you do the intro
always
bits
does
on
the
this.
intro.
I always do the intro for BMFcast,
Right.
but I don't have like a hosting thing.
Well,
that
I guess
do.
we got to do another podcast with all of us,
Man, I don't have enough fucking time.
and that's probably why.
I'm hosting.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh Jesus! I've been trying. I've recorded the first part of Good News Everyone, the next episode, like, this will be take 3. Because the first one sucked. The second one had moist mouth, disgustingness, which I wanted to vomit.
I'm so glad you sent me a message. It's
I
like,
wanted to
I'm
vomit
so
editing
sorry. I understand everything now.
I wanted to vomit listening to it. I'm like, this can never happen again. This must never.
Yeah.
This was never.
Yeah. Yeah. So I appreciate them editing all the time. 'Cause
Yes,
holy
absolutely.
fuck, editing sucks. Yeah. I get why you edit as little as you can nowadays. I can't even imagine the old days when you used to cut. You'd cut conversations, all that. Ugh.
I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah. That's what you learn in 8 years.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Well, I mean, the important thing is, like, have an ear for all quality, but don't think you're a fucking audiophile when you're doing a podcast. There's a fine line. Like, have an ear, like, for, like, oh, that sounds like Skype bullshit, but
Yeah, but
don't.
that stuff could not be really, like, I would feel bad listening to that, to anybody having to listen to that.
All right.
So that's my new episode this week. Again.
I think
Yeah,
we've got
but
plenty to fill in
if
the
you're
gaps.
watching live stream, no Fun Time Torpedoes will be up tomorrow evening. I just haven't had time to throw it all together. It's all recorded. Just have to
Nice.
throw it together.
That'll be our Thursday content.
Yep. All right.